Kick it off. Yes, sir.
Shalom. We're going to start off by giving all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh.
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah Ba'Shem,
Peace and double honors to the apostles of GMS give us his truth. And salutations to all the occupation this word throughout the four corners of the earth. And we are here to prophesy the downfall of America as usual. As you can see, everything that's going on in the news is tied into biblical prophecy. You know, and it's to the point where you have people that's not in the truth, that's acknowledging that the Bible is coming to pass. You know, talking about it's getting biblical. You know, biblical this, biblical that. You know what I'm saying? Plagues of biblical proportions. You know, they're warning up famine of biblical proportions due to those heat waves, as well as the diesel shortage, man. You know, and they're saying that starting in September, you know, really after this weekend, you know, we're about to see a major switch in the cost of goods. It's gonna start to skyrocket, man. You know, you're gonna wake up one day and the price is gonna go from wherever it is now. It might go up 25%, it might go up 50%, it might double. Diesel prices, you know, and the reserves, the oil reserves are running very low. So once the reserve run low, that's what kind of has been keeping prices, you know, to a decent, you know, level, you know. But pretty much, man, and the scriptures talk about what? The day of the Lord is gonna come like a thief of the night. So these people, they're gonna get caught off guard, man. You got people that have no clue what's going on with this whole fuel crisis, man. You know, and they don't care to even look, especially our people, man. You know, you tell niggas about the war, you know what I'm saying? You got niggas that still don't know we're at war. You know? Remember when it popped off, when it first popped off? It had been like 2-3 weeks, and there was interviewing people, and people were like, what? We're at war with Iran? Like, nigga, it's been weeks. You know, but that's why they're gonna get caught up.
I got something. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 16. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death.
That's the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, man. You know, Yahweh Shah, if you could find that too, it says all these are the beginning of sorrows.
Yeah, I get it.
Yahweh Shah and Ezra, there was prophesying of the same things. You know, Ezra is just going to a vivid picture, a vivid detail of what Yahweh Shah was prophesying about. You know, so it says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, man. You know, people are about to be in pure, you know, desperation mode, man. You know, pure depression. You know, the jobs they're about to lose. You know, the money that's in their bank account is about to dry up. There's about to be bank runs, right? And you know, if the power goes out, when the power goes out, you know, there's no ATMs that's gonna, you know, none of that digital shit is gonna work, man. And we're seeing a prelude of that over there in Indiana, in Gary, Indiana, man. You got those Jakes losing their minds because they've been 10, 11 days without power, man. You know, they're crimes, looting, you know, doing all these different things, man. And this is just a test run. But they're talking about what America has to prepare for 18-month blackout, man. You know, because the power grid is too, and you know, due to also those cyber attacks that's been happening from Iran. You know, so beginning of sorrows and great mournings. Go ahead.
It says the beginning of famine and great death.
Yeah, and they're also J.B. Morgan, as well as I believe the World Bank. They just warned of major starvation, food shortages. By 2027, you know, because of the diesel prices, the oil prices, you know, because it's not just diesel shortage. You got jet fuel shortage, you know, and diesel is responsible for bringing all these different fuels to their destination. You need the diesel to fuel the truck that brings the fuel to the gas stations. So this is gonna affect everybody, man. This is why the scriptures say, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Because it's not going to be secluded to just certain places. Because right now it is, you know. Right now you got Asia, Africa. They got the fuel shortage, so the prices of goods in their countries is skyrocketing. They're starting to already see what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Rationing of different things, you know. So hey man, war to the world. Right?
And that's a scare tactic too when they say shortage, you know, all of the world's minerals is in abundance.
Yeah.
As far as the oil,
Yeah.
the gas, it's more so the elites
Yeah.
that's orchestrating this planned famine.
Yeah.
You know, which is under the ordinances of Yahweh Shem Shah. But shortage, you know?
Yeah.
It's a fear-mongering tactic.
Yeah.
People panicking.
Yeah.
You got people starving for food, panic buying, you know?
Yeah.
But it's ultimately because the elites want to usher in their agenda. That's fucked up. So I'm reading. It says the beginning of famine and great death.
Yeah, so the beginning of famine and great death, man. There's another scripture that says the day's gonna come, or a day that dwell on earth shall be taken in a great number, man. You know? In a great number, man. You get ready to see people die on a massive scale,
Yeah.
on a daily basis. You know? You wake up, you know, oh yeah, breaking news, 800 people died from, you know, category 4 that through New York, you know? And then while you're still trying to recover from that, you know, the Lord bring a drone strike. You know what I'm saying? And near you. You know, now there's no power. While you're still trying to recover from that, you know, the next week is a major earthquake. You know, the Lord is going to make sure you people don't get a fucking break, man. You ain't going to catch no rest. The Lord said what? There is no peace in the wicked. You're not just going to sit and just chill in your wickedness, man.
Scripture say Esau is reading his counsel. You know,
Yeah.
there's no way, like, man.
Yeah.
He's spreading so thin.
Yeah.
You know, especially them small hats.
Yeah.
They lose their mind.
Yeah.
Now they want to attack Turkey as soon as Trump said what he said. You know what I mean? Lebanon.
You know?
You know?
Yeah.
These guys on a they on a rampage. You know?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, Esau losing it, man.
Yeah.
That power. You know, that grip is losing it, man. You know, so he about to crash out on a global scale. You know? Trump basically said he just said he's not gonna use it in the military, man. To basically go in Iran and not only invade Iran, but also attack countries that's you know, still dealing with Iran, man. You know, that don't want us basically listen to his you know, it gotta be wrong.
Of course. Only Eve gonna do that.
That's right. You know? Hey, man.
Yeah.
People getting ready to crash out, man, all over America, man.
That's right.
It's gonna go from like words to actual actions, you know?
Yep. It says the beginning of wars and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come?
Yeah, that's right. So the beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall? We're gonna trust in Yahweh Shem Shah. That's what we're gonna do. People gonna lose their minds, man. Isaiah 33:6. You know, the scriptures talk about that, man. You know, people about to lose their minds because of you know, all the iniquity that shall abound.
Yep.
Get that too.
Yep. This is Isaiah 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation.
Yeah, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. You know, people are gonna be unstable, man.
right.
And an unstable mind is a dangerous thing, man.
That's right.
You know, you know, everything they worked for their whole lives. You know, they went to college. You know, went through the pain, losing sleep, staying up.
Yep,
You know, to finally get that job. They had to work their way all the way up to certain positions. Now they're making 6 figures. They got the house, the nice mortgage, children in private schools. You know what I'm saying? They bust their ass to get to their position.
Hey,
Now
it's like there's a bunch of people that's still striving for that.
Yeah.
They didn't even get to that
Yeah.
position.
Yeah.
And they got family members just keep going.
Yeah.
You know, take the
Yeah.
sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially women. They put in 80 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dedicating themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at these women on social media. They my age, mid-20s, mid-30s, trying to get their masters, and you know what I mean?
It's not too late.
Showing their GPAs.
Yeah.
It's not too late, and it's like I'm laughing in my head like you doing all this for nothing.
Yeah.
You know, when you could have cleaved unto a man of the Lord.
Yeah.
You know, had some type of protection about you, but you shunned the men of the Lord. You know, you worship the money, you worship this lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, it's not gonna be it wasn't warned. You know, that's why Yahweh Shah said it ain't gonna be no cloak for your sins.
Yeah.
You know, because we giving you the warning, but look, when you look around, see, perfect example.
Yeah.
You know,
Careless.
careless. You know, but when that day comes, what's going on? What happened?
They're gonna run to man's arms.
Yep.
You know, whenever all hell break loose, whenever, you know, shit pop off, first thing you see women do is what? They start screaming.
Yep.
Ah!
Exactly.
Grab into a man, you know, get behind a man.
Yep.
You know, but that day, man, man's gonna be cold, man.
That's right.
You know, man's gonna have cold hearts, man. You know, man's gonna be killing women. Because you got a lot of men right now that's frustrated, man. They incels, voluntary celibate.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Just
Men
burn.
going their own way.
Yeah, men going their own way. You know, men just, you know, we got men that hate women right now. Yeah, I can't wait for something to go down so they could, you know, do their thing with these women, man.
It was a Jake that killed his wife, soon to be ex-wife, because she wanted, I guess they wanted, they was getting a divorce. Most likely she initiated it. And then like Jay jealousy, that rage or jealousy, jealousy's a rage. You know what I mean? And he stabbed her up. Now it's going viral. You know what I mean? But it's like, yo, you play stupid games, you get stupid, you get, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's right.
So it says, and while it shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation, the fear of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah is his treasure.
Yeah, that's going to be our treasure, man. As the scriptures say, if you get that to Proverbs, I think 11 and 4, what's it? Richest prophet not in the day of wrath, man. You know? And I think 27, get that too. But yeah, man, you know, the true treasure is this truth, man. You know, that's like, you know, we have foresight. You know, just somebody, you know, that was, you know, let's say privy to certain information in the stocks. You know, they would make that investment early, man. Let's say 20 years ago you knew about Bitcoin and how eventually, you know, it's gonna be to the point that it's at. You would put damn near all your money into it, man. You know what I'm saying? Bust your ass, you know, working 80 hours a week, throw your money in it because you would pay in the end, you know, in the future. So that's what brothers have done, man. You know, they started with the apostles, you know, elders, you know, brothers, you know, however long brothers been in. You know, we banking on these prophecies coming to fruition. You know, and now we're seeing them come to pass. But when we're in the midst of these plagues, you know, we're going to remember, man, that it's all coming from Yahweh Shah. You know, so we're going to be more level-headed as opposed to somebody who doesn't have the truth, man. You know?
That's right.
So if you don't have this wisdom and knowledge, you're going to be unstable in these times. Go ahead.
It's Proverbs. This is Proverbs 11 and verse 4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death.
Yeah, because that's the true riches, man. That means you're rich with the Most High. The scriptures say what? Store up your treasures in heaven, man. Which means what? Gain this knowledge, gain this truth, man. You know? So, store up your treasures in heaven. That's the treasure, man. You know, but your riches is not going to save you. You know? The scriptures talk about, I think in James 5, you know, about the men, how they, woe to them, you know, because they reach treasure for the last days. You know? So you got people right now, it's the rich, you know, at this moment, they're all becoming preppers. You know, the prepper industry has boomed, you know, for bunkers, you know what I'm saying, people that do deliveries, these rich neighborhoods, they've been doing videos about how, you know, they seen the rich just been buying up mad shit, generators, inverters, a lot of food, you know what I'm saying, because they're trying to prep up for these last days. But guess what, man? That's not going to save you, man. You can have all of that stored up, and the Lord just hit you with a fucking heart attack. Now what? Who those goods going to belong to? It's going to belong to the righteous, man. You know, those are going to be the only ones to enjoy, you know, these in these coming times. You know. So we say, my servant shall eat, shall drink. You know?
I got a quick article of what you're saying, because you said they heap their treasures and they storing the goods. It says U.S. spent 21 trillion to build secret underground doomsday bunkers for elites, claims former official.
Yeah, that's right. So they got a secret underground doomsday bunker. You know, $21 trillion, man.
Bunkers.
Yeah,
been hoarding it up for years.
They said it's cities, connected cities down there, man. You know what I'm saying? Or that span all over America, man. So it could go all the way, connected all the way from New York all the way to California, man.
Look,
you know?
It says Captain Austin, former Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development under President W.H. Bush, claims the U.S. government secretly paid $21 trillion between 1998 and 2015 to construct approximately 170 underground and undersea bunkers.
Undersea.
Yep.
You know, hey, that reminds me of Amos.
They dig it,
Yeah, they got you know, from the wrath of the Lord.
That's right. That was the point.
That was it?
Yeah.
All right, so you got something, brother?
I got something real quick. Proverbs 4 says, riches profit not in the day of wrath.
That's the spirit.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
But righteousness delivered from death.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so righteousness delivered from death, man. You know? So you could have, you know, how many millions of dollars, that ain't gonna, because once there's a blackout, the power go out, all that's just numbers on the screen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what's gonna be valuable in that time is gonna be this truth. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, other than that, outside of this truth, it's gonna be food. The main commodity in those days. You know, because you could have money, you could have gold, you could have silver, but, you know, it's not gonna be able to get you food. If there's no food available anywhere around, what are you gonna do with that money? What with that? You know?
Yep. This is Amos 9 and verse 2. Though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them.
Mm-hmm.
Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And though they hide themselves on the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence.
Yeah.
And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them.
That's right. So no matter where you at, you can't hide from the, you know, eyes of the Lord. The scriptures tell you that the eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. The scriptures say that the Spirit of the Lord filleth the world,
Yep.
and that which contains all things has knowledge of the voice. So the Most High, He knows everything that's going on. The secret plans, the meetings you got, you planning to build the bunker out. He's listening to you.
Mm-hmm.
He's watching you. You know what I'm saying? There is no hiding from Yahweh Shemel Shah. David said, it don't matter where I go. I could be in the bottom of the sea. You know what I'm saying? You know, there, you know, you're going to be there too. The Most High is everywhere, man. He's omnipresent, you know, and omnipotent. Everywhere at all times and all powerful, man.
I got one more.
So, and then the last one says Leviathan. I mean, it says the serpent,
yeah.
which is Leviathan.
Yeah.
You know, so Leviathan, he's going to come out, man. He's going to come out and play. You know what I'm saying? And grab up whatever bunker you got from down there and just bring it to brother, to the elect. At the feet of brothers, you know, at the feet of Yahweh Shah.
Yep. I got another one. It's Galatians 6, and I'm going to start at 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together.
That's talking about mushroom clouds, man. Go ahead.
It says, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places.
Yeah, so, you know, just picture a nuclear holocaust, man. You know, America being destroyed, you know, getting hit with, you know, multiple warheads, 200 million, like the scriptures say. And you're going to have a gigantic mushroom cloud. And you're going to have other parts of the earth getting hit too. So what? The scriptures say what? The earth will to and fro like a drunkard. So you're going to have tsunamis miles high, cracking open, swallowing cities up. You're going to have all kinds of stuff going on, man. Volcano oceans, you know? The islands are sinking underwater, new land being formed. The Most High is going to reshape the whole entire planet Earth.
Verse 15, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every freeman, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountain.
Yeah, so they're going to hide, you know, when they see Yahweh Shah, man. That's a terrible sight to see, man. You know, you look up and it says gigantic being bigger than the earth. Just looking right at you. You know? Hey, man, that's a scary sight, man. Especially him being a so-called black man, you know? Because those are the most favored people on earth, you know? Everybody's scared of so-called black man. You know, remember Japan a couple months ago? They was comparing us to the Viltrumites, comparing Jake to Viltrumites. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Jake's structure, how we built, you know, the things that we were able to do, you know? And Yahweh Shah, he's the ultimate Jake, man. So you heathens, you gonna panic, man. Run into caves, you know, dig holes, getting in the ground, you know, jumping in wells, jumping off cliffs, jumping off buildings, you know? Hey, man, that's gonna be a scary sight.
It says, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?
Yeah, who shall be able to stand? Only the elect. You know, those are going to be the only ones, you know, to make it, man. That's on the earth, man. You're done. You're cooked, as Jake would say. You know, literally, you're going to have people that get fried up, and people that survive the aftermath, they still going to have to deal with, you know, radiation poisoning.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Fucking no food. You know what I'm saying? Probably still committing cannibalism, feasting on dead flesh. You know, feasting on dirt, clay. You know, people gonna be fucked up out here, man.
Yeah, because you might have like the third world or the remote countries of the earth.
Islands.
Yeah, and you got people out there that's poor. They wasn't paying like the elites.
Yeah.
So now they probably got to be in caves and stuff, and they just going through it.
Yeah.
They you know what I mean?
Forests, you know.
Yeah, you know.
It grows. Yep.
Yep.
Got something?
Okay. This is Zephaniah 3 and 8. For wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger. All the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy.
Yeah, so the whole earth is going to be devoured by the fire of the jealousy of the Lord. Now, the whole earth is not going to be destroyed by the method. But just like with the flood, the whole earth got flooded and felt, the wrath of the Lord. The whole earth is going to feel this wrath as well. Perfect. You might not get hit with the fire, but you're going to deal with the aftermath. You're going to deal with the earthquake. You're going to deal with the ashes, the nuclear ashes.
Nuclear whole of
winter.
Nuclear winter.
Yeah, the nuclear winter.
Yeah.
You know, so the whole earth is going to feel the wrath of the Lord, man. Because you got Europe, they're part of NATO. They got them European countries. China got to get hit. Scripture say a war into the Asia, you know, which China is part of Asia.
Yeah.
But what? All of Asia. India gonna get hit. You know, West Asia. You know, which is what they call the Middle East.
Yeah.
You know, that's gonna be the epicenter. Yeah. So it's gonna spread all the way out. That's why you got Iran. They're saying they're about to increase the range of their missiles to where missiles can reach America, man. They're about to start striking Europe. So it's about to go global, man. You know? So this whole earth is going to feel the fire, the jealousy of the Lord, man. You know?
All right, this is Job 14 and 5. His days are determined. The number of his months are with thee.
Yeah.
Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
Yeah, thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So there's a certain, time limit that the Most High has given this devil, man. By measure, the Most High measured the times, and by number, he numbered them. And he doesn't move or hurt them until the said measure is fulfilled. So the Most High, he deals with everything in weight and balance, man. You know? There has to be a certain amount of wickedness that has to be fulfilled, before the Most High can take this devil down. Just during the time of Abraham, the Lord told Abraham, the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. You know?
Yep.
So it got to pile up to a certain level, man.
Once in the time of Daniel, the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
And he said, you are weighing the balance,
Yeah.
roughly paraphrase.
Yeah, matter of fact,
Yep.
I can get some real quick. This Revelations 18 and 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God have remembered her iniquities.
Yeah, that's right. So her sins has piled all the way up to heavens, man. You know? It's kind of like, trash, man. It's like having trash, on the first floor or whatever, in the basement, and that shit just been sitting there for weeks, man. Eventually, that whole house is gonna smell, man. You know? So her sins have reached unto the heavens, and the Most High remembered her iniquity. The scriptures say the Most High, he requires that which is past. You know? Well, why do you think America's getting punished right now, man? You know? You see those videos of the wildfires, the floods, stuff that's happening in America, the judgments of the Lord. In the comments, people always, prayers for this, prayers for that. The Most High not dealing with this place, man.
Right.
You know? The nerve of you devils, man. After, you committed all these crimes, man. Shed all this blood. Slavery.
Yep.
All manner of evils and wickedness you've done. You think that this place is going to ride off in the sunset? God is going to bless America? You thought Trump was going to come in as this Messiah and, the Most High is going to anoint him to save this place? Get the fuck out of here, man. Hey, America's the top priority on the Most High's hit list, man.
Okay, I got that comment real quick. I get to the point. This is Daniel 5 and 22. And thou, his son, O Belshazzar, has not humbled thy heart. Thou knowest all this, but has lifted up thyself against the Lord of heaven, and they have brought the vessels of his house before thee. And thou and thy lords and thy wives and thy concubines have wine in them. And thou hast praised the gods of silver and of gold, of brass, iron, wood, and stone.
And that's what the elites, that's what they've been doing, man. They worship the old gods of these different nations. They worship Babylon, the gods of Egypt. The Epstein emails prove that. They worship Baal, they worship Baphomet. You know what I'm saying? They worship all these different demonic deities, man. And the vessels of the Lord, hey man, the vessels of the Lord is the elect. Is the Israelites. You think if you deal with the vessels of the temple of the Lord, how much more the Lord's people? Because right now the scriptures say what? We are the temple of the Most High. You know? So Esau, you got us, you know, in your possession. You know, and the Lord's land in your possession. So the same thing is happening now, man. The writing is on the wall. And that's what that goes back to. The writing is on the wall.
Scripture say the sons of Zion comparable to fine gold. So yeah, you know what I mean? It says, it says, nor hear, nor know the God in whose hand thy breath is, and whose all thy ways hast thou not glorified. Then was the part of the hand sent from him, and this was the writing written. And this is the right that was written. Mene tickle up Hazan. Yafasin Slakia. This is the interpretation of the thing. Mene, the Most High numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Tickle.
Yeah, the Most High numbered your kingdom, man. Every empire had a certain time to rule. You know, the Most High, the scripture, the Most High set it up one and put out one and set it up another. You know, and the average age of empires is 250 years. And America has reached that this year, man. So this is why we don't see things unfold very quickly, man. You know?
They say that in the husband on some bullshit, but that nigga days is numbered. You know what I mean? Because it's like he's doing so much dirt. Something bound to happen. You know what I mean?
And years ago, they ran CERN. They had the screen.
Oh yeah.
And then it popped up on the screen.
Yep.
You know, that popped up on the screen, and they basically had this secret meeting with leaders all around the world, scientists and all of that, and they basically said that these nations agreed, you know, to give their kingdoms for the new world, because these nations, they all understand that once Esau go down, they all go down. You know, so it says many, so America's days is numbered. Right?
Yep. It says tickle. Thou art weighed in the balances and are found wanting.
Yeah, Esau's weighed in the balance and has been found wanting. Yep. Here it is. You know, you claim this place to be a God-fearing country. You know what I'm saying? The Bible is the law of the land. Don't uphold none of the ways of the Most High, man. And if anybody brings up, you know, the ways of the scriptures, they get frowned upon. You know, if you believe that two moles, you know, should get they look at you like you a terrorist, man. You know, like you the worst, the vilest person ever. You know, they'll have action on the news. You lose your job. People, you know, be on the street. People will jump you. You know, hey man, but ways of the Most High, man. You know, people revile the ways of the Most High, man. You know, adultery. If you're against adultery, they look at you like you a lame. You know, oh hey he come. You know, like you just a burden. You know, but if you follow righteousness, man.
That was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nah, still. I'm just
Give me.
This is Proverbs 11 and verse 1. A false violence is an abomination to Yahweh. While Hashem Yahushua, but a just weight is his delight.
That's right. A false balance is an abomination to God. You know, so the Most High, he has to let things, you know, play out to a certain amount. You know, the Lord, you know, he could have destroyed America long ago, but you know, he would be going against his word. You know, and to say the Most High is not a man that he should lie. You know, the Most High, he got nothing but time, man. You know, yeah, you know, you had Jakes that been wanting, you know, the deliverance to come earlier. In the time of slavery, Jakes that knew that there was Israelites, they wished that, you know, it ended back then, but things had to play out. They had to die and come back in a reincarnation to, you know, reach all the way to this point. You know, the Most High, he's long suffering, man. So this play on for this while, but the whole time, the scriptures tell you that the Most High is angry with the wicked every day, man. You know, so the Lord been wanting this space to get taken out, but everything has to play out. That was it?
Yeah.
That's the word iniquity means. It means pretty much false balance. Like you got the word iniquity, meaning not, and you got the word equity, but you get the word equal. Then equal is balance. So it translates to not equal or false balance.
Yep.
The second address, 28. But as concerning the things thereof, thou askest me, I tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction therefore is not here.
evil is sown and the destruction is not yet come. Because, you know, like it's going to, evil is sown in the heart of Adam. So all the way to this point, this is thousands of the seed just bearing forth fruit, you know, and more fruit. And, you know, the more time we set things with Noah and his family, but, you know, things got worse during the time of the flood, man. You know, this is why Yahushua said, as in the days of Noah, you know.
If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, cannot it come that is sown with good.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, if the Most High don't displace out, then there can be no kingdom of heaven, man. You know, there's a scripture in Proverbs that says, a king that,
Established on racism.
scatter of the wicked.
Oh, okay, good.
That one too.
For the grain of evil seed has been sown in Adam from the beginning, and how much ungodliness have been brought up to this time, and how much and how much shall it yet bring forth until the time of threshing? Ponder now by thyself how great fruit of
We in that
wickedness.
time. Well, read that again.
Second Edges 4 and 30. For the grain of evil seed have been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning.
Right. So now it's because the actions of Adam's sin is sin into the world. Because prior before Adam's sin, you know, there was no sin, right? Now that's the reason why Cain killed Abel. It was a ripple effect of Adam's transgression. So if Adam never transgressed, sin had not entered to the world. And if sin had not entered to the world, Cain would not have committed the act of, you know. Go ahead.
It says, for the grain of evil seed have been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning, and how much ungodliness had been brought up until this time.
Right, so godliness, matter of fact, I think it's in Hebrews. Death reigned from Adam, or is that maybe Romans or Hebrews? So from the sins of Adam to the flood, and then got it. It was a quick precept. Yeah, go ahead.
This is Romans 5 and verse 14. Yes, death reigned from Adam to Moses.
The Adam. So it says the reign from Adam to Moses. So from Adam, you had all the way to the time of Noah, and Noah you had the flood. That was a judgment sent from the Most High to punish man because of the wickedness that was on the earth. And then you had the rebirth through Noah and his three sons, and then all the way down to chosen lineage down to Moses, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Moses was a descendant of Jacob, out of the sons of Levite. So it was to Moses where the law, because right before Moses, the law was by word of mouth. Until the time of Moses, it was put down in stone. So it said from death reigned from Adam to Moses. Go ahead.
Read it. It said, Romans 5 and 14. Nevertheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over them that had not sinned, after the similitude of Adam's transgression.
So that falls on all of us. Like when Adam sinned, we all pay the penalty from Adam's transgression. That's why we all die. That's why we all get sick. The lifespan of man went down. It was from Adam's transgression. That's why Most High is gonna judge His word by fire, which most of the destruction is gonna hit America and nuclear fire, but it has to do with sin.
It says,
right.
Who is the figure of him that was to come. But not as the offense, so also is the free gift. For if
as the offense was Adam came as the ones as the offense, and Yahushua came as the one as life. Go ahead.
For if through the offense of one many be dead, much more the grace of the Most High, that and the gift by grace, which is by one man, Yahweh Shah have abounded unto many.
That's all we need. That's all. Let's go back to that.
Back in second edges, 4 and 30. I finish off.
Let me see if I can.
Well, 4 and 30 again. For the grain of evil seed have been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning, and how much ungodliness have been brought up unto time.
So it says how much ungodliness have been brought up unto this time. Now, if you think about it, all these other empires was wicked, but America has excelled in every other nation. Get that in Joel 20. Because the day of So now Greece was wicked. You had homosexuality in ancient Greece, ancient Rome, but they didn't have the ability to have testosterone therapy, where you can make a woman look like a man. She had to get a jawline, get facial hair, then she say she's a man. You know, cut her breasts off, or whatever, able to cut the breasts off, but you didn't look like a man. Now they got all these therapies to make her resemble a man because they have that ability now. That's even more wickedness than ancient Greece, ancient Rome, you know. So these are the things that's happening today. So American wickedness or evil, it has excelled. And then it's to the point it becomes influential. Other countries is following America, thinking this is the way of the way to live. You know, you got woman liberation, women want to be equal with men, and women think they are equal to a man, and the trend of women being masculine. That stems from America. Go ahead.
Right. For the grain of evil seed has been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning, and how much ungodliness have it brought up to this time, and how much shall it bring forth unto the time of threshing?
And how much it should bring forth unto the time of threshing. Now the time of threshing, is Most High judge the world and send Yahweh Shah to bring judgment, and America be joy. So how much until the time of threshing? We had, you thought you seen wickedness 20 years ago, is that all? Now, just 20, 30 years ago, you had female women that was 304s, but they did it secretly. Or you had women, you know, let's say they had multiple baby daddies. It wasn't that common. That was a shame. Whereas now, it's championed to be a single mom, had multiple baby daddies. That show you that degeneracy had went up. You know, before you had that one homosexual within maybe in a mile radius. Now everybody is a homosexual or lesbian. You know, like before they used to do that closet. Now it's just open. You know, it's just open. I remember it was a big thing when I was in junior high school, and they was talking about having a school just people that live that alternative lifestyle. And that was a big thing. But now that's normal. That's compared to what we see now, that's normal. You know? Now there's a separate school for them. Because everybody is one. You need a separate school for straight people now, because it's like straight people is the minority. So it says how much ungodliness to the time of threshing. And that's the reason why the Most High is going to bring judgment, because of the ungodliness that is present in this current time. Even at one point, even the hood niggas have some type of, it wasn't that degenerate. They was degenerate, but it's like the niggas now, they actually degenerate. I remember at least the hood niggas, they still have respect for the elderly. You know, they would stay in front of the building all day long, but when the elderly came in, they'll at least hold the door, help her with what she need, whatever, say good morning, good afternoon. So you heard bad things about them, a lot of times they're like, nah, I'm not such and such. I never see them doing that. So they showed them a different eye. Whereas now, these YNs, they don't respect nothing. They don't respect themselves. So like degeneracy is at an all-time low. Respect is at an all-time low. So that's the ungodliness. You gonna say something?
Yeah, I'm saying now these people lying, your grandfather coming in the building, they slap your grandpa back in the neck. You know?
Video on TikTok.
Or put the internet too.
It was actually a video of was a chick. So beef with another chick. She came out the girl mom's come to the door. She slapped the shit out of her mom. And she recording it. And she just start talking shit. But this is their generation, you know.
She got killed.
Yeah, she got killed.
I was about to say, I think she got killed after that.
She got shot.
Well, good for her.
Yeah.
You know.
That was
I think that's recently got killed, right? I think that
a couple years
video-
ago, but she definitely
I think the video was a couple years ago. I feel like happened like last year she got killed.
Yeah, bro, yeah. Probably
The video was like a couple years ago.
Like recently though, after the pandemic.
But that to show you, but that's how the Most High sent a spirit to take a life, because we don't know what the hell she was doing. If she was doing that shit on camera so casually, you don't know what the hell she probably put hands on home. You know?
Right.
So she doing that so casually. That's the Most High gave her the death penalty. Let them.
Yeah, two more verses.
Okay.
Verse 31. Ponder now by thyself how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil seed have brought forth.
This is a great fruit of wickedness, because everything starts with a seed. In this case, the seed is wickedness, evil, and it was planted in the heart of man, and it began to germinate, and then it began to sprout, turn to a tree, and it started to forth fruits of wickedness. That
And when the ears shall be cut down, which are without milk, how
Right.
great a floor shall they fill.
all right, go ahead.
This is Jeremiah 51. And for thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her, yet a little, and the time of her harvest shall come.
Read it one more time.
This is Jeremiah 51 and 33. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh, yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come.
Right. So, yeah. So the Most High is using an analogy of like we read it, like we just read in 2nd Ezra, the 4th chapter, right? Every kingdom has a time to start. The wickedness has to build before the Lord judges. Just like how the seed is planted, right? It germinates, it grows into a field. You know, the fruits is ripe to be harvested. So when it's in the time of harvest, what you get your threshing board, and you would thresh the wheat, all right? The threshing board would separate the wheat from the chaff, okay? Which is an act of, like a violent act. So that's what the Lord is going to do with the nation. The Lord is going to do with wickedness in general, and the wicked kingdoms. So it's going to be time for threshing is coming when Yahweh Shai. He's going to separate the wheat from the chaff. That's his navigation, right? He's going to gather his elect. He's going to bring destruction upon the evildoers, upon the wicked, upon the sinners, right? Judgment got to be, that's the harvest. Yahweh Shai, he's that reaper. Okay, the grim reaper, people like to say, that's Yahweh Shai. He's coming back to reap with that sharp sickle.
Yeah, that's an act that was done during harvest. So you had grain, you had a flat surface, and you threshing would separate the grain from the grass, whatever was there. You know, yeah. So that's an act of reaping, and that's the time we in right now. We're in reaping time. The reaper are the angels, and Yahweh Shai is coming to angels to bring judgment here.
Revelation 14 and 14. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle.
That's Yahweh Shai. And the cloud size, the chariots. So Yahweh Shai, he's coming with an army of angels, and they're gonna come in those ships, those spaceships. And Yahweh Shah, it says he had it, in his hand, a sickle throughout it, and that sickle is used to thresh. So Yahweh Shah, that's what he's coming to thresh. There's one in Joel, I believe it's the 3rd chapter. So that's what Yahweh Shah is coming to do, come to thresh and judgment.
It says, verse 15, and another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. And another angel...
That's on into the end of the world. And now what the end of the world is comprised of is the end of Esau, the end of the age of Esau hegemony. So Esau had his time to rule. Now we exiting the hegemony of Esau. It came in as the Greeks. Then you had what they call the Greco Empire, all the way down to today. So now Esau is about to go down, whereas there's a misconception that the Most High is going to destroy the earth and rebuild everything from scratch. No, the end of the world is comprised of an empire going down and a new world power coming up. And that world power is going to be underneath Yahweh Shah, and the elect joint heirs with the elect. Okay?
It says,
in other words, the kingdom of heaven is the kingdom of the Israelites. Okay?
It says, and another angel came out of the temple, which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. Another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud voice to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, thrust in the sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe.
Now those grapes symbolize Esau being plucked out of rulership. Because moment when them grapes is they still green, then they reach maturity, and that's the time when it's time to pluck them. They mature, they sugary, ripe, juicy. So now you reap them and you put them in a wine press. And that's all symbolize Esau being plucked out of the rulership. Right?
It says, and the angel in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into great winepress of the wrath of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress into the horses' bridles by the space of 1,600 furlongs.
Right. Now let's go into Yahweh Shah coming to destroy Esau. That's why with that Isaiah 63, with Yahweh Shah having a white garment with blood on his garment. Well, let me get that in Job. That's what I want.
Job, okay.
Yeah.
This is Job 5 and verse 20 and verse 4. It says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth?
So when man was placed on the earth, he had many hegemonies, many empires. Like, based on what you all say, the oldest history they could trace back to is the I believe the Sumerians or the Akkadians. Somebody Google it. I'm not sure if the Akkadians or the Sumerians, but it's one of the two. I believe it's the Sumerians, if I'm not mistaken. I'm almost positive. But that's how far you can go back to as far as history. So you have many empires, the Sumerians.
Mesopotamia?
That's the Mesopotamia, but those are Mesopotamia is a region.
Yeah, the region.
So it's many empires that came out of that region.
Yeah.
So like the Sumerians will be an empire in Mesopotamia.
The Akkadians.
That's what it says.
Yeah, Akkadian Empire.
So I believe the Akkadian ruled before the Sumerians. So you had the Akkadians, then you had the Sumerians. These were all Mesopotamian empires. Then you had the Egyptian Empire. But the point is, all these empires that rose was not in alliance with the ways of Yahweh Shah. So that's why the Most High took them down. Because you had certain laws that was about word of mouth. They didn't practice that. They didn't exercise it like the Egyptians. Like we get the law, a lot of laws we read is because the order don't is because these things that was happening in the land of Egypt, also in the land of Canaan. So they said, when you come into the land, don't do these acts like child sacrifice, putting marks in your body, you know, what today they'll call tribal marks or tattoos, adultery, bestiality, you know, what else was comprised of the law, you know, but idolatry. So all these things was happening among the heathens. And this is why the Most High took them down, you know. So go ahead, read that from the top again.
This is Job 20 and verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short?
So the triumphant of the wicked is short. They all had a period to rule, and they all went down at an appointed time by Yahweh Shem, right?
And the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment.
Right, they had you know, you had they moment, they reached their peak.
Yeah.
Then they had a moment, they start to decline. You know, like in Rome history, what is it, Pax Romana?
Yeah, yep.
That's when Rome, let me just double check, my memory is bad.
Yeah, Pax Romana, the time period of peace. I'm gonna get it, bro.
Yeah. So every empire had a moment. Every empire had a time where it was rising, it reached a peak, and then a decline.
Romana means Roman peace in Latin. It refers to a long period when the Roman Empire experienced relative peace and stability, traditionally dated from 27 BC to 1 AD. Keep going.
180.
Yeah, AD.
Because after that, that's when they start experiencing a decline.
Yeah.
And then they have the conventional date of 475 AD. When the West fell.
Yeah.
So Rome started declining.
Yeah.
But it reached its prime, its peak.
Yeah, it's peak.
America had its peak. Now America is reaching, we at the time in America decline. You know, because it's not top. Whereas when the kingdom of Israelite get established through Yahweh Shah, we're gonna have our rise and we're gonna remain in our peak forever. We're gonna just keep rising.
Yeah.
We're gonna just rise and never go down.
To the top.
There won't be no, actually there will be no limits. There won't be no peak. Because to say it's a peak, that means there's a limit. So to say of the increase of the government, there shall be no end. So there won't be no peak. So it will be a constant rise. And we never gonna fall. Because it's going to be of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, and it's going to be righteous. The laws of the Heavenly Father are going to be exercised. So that's why these different empires went down, because they didn't exercise the laws of the Most High. But most of all, understand that there was a set of being power, because it's not the kingdom of Israel. Go ahead.
Because you said, yes, bro. You said these nations, they don't rule because they don't keep the ways of the Most High. Luke 3 and 13, for if thou hast walked in the way of the Most High, thou shouldest have dwelt in peace forever.
Woo. Right. And you know, that's why even Israel went down. We had a time when we was in power, and then we had our peak and we started declining. And then the Lord allowed the other nations to come in. First was the Assyrians, then the Babylonians came in, and we went down. You know, kingdom. When we go back into power, we're going to be righteous. And all Israel is going to be righteous, so we're never going to be declined.
That's what I say too, like, even with the nations ruling, see, it's not like the nations had to follow like a Mosaic law. You had like universal laws that all nations follow, right? Because Israel got the Mosaic laws, but still nations that was in rulership, it's just universal laws that all nations supposed to follow, like child sacrifice, murders, and like that. That's the thing. The Lord can still judge the nations. Okay, so those acts of wickedness.
I got a quick one. Back at that point. This is Proverbs 16 and 12. It is an abomination to kings to commit wickedness, For the throne is established by righteousness.
Yes, sir. Okay. Well, yeah, thrones established. But that's what it says because injuries and all that.
Sirach 10:8.
Yeah, that's why the Most High removed those kingdoms.
Yep.
Right? Wisdom of Solomon, it speaks about why the Most High removed Canaanites because of their it says merciless child sacrifices, things like that. That displeased the Lord. Right? Those Canaanites, they were doing all kind of merciless killings, man. And in honor to their gods. The Most High removed them. Right? You just can't be in power and just doing all kind of murders and slaughtering innocent. The Most High judged for that. Okay. The Most High is still power over all nations and God's life. But that's what these nations, they were doing, man. Their own gods.
Yeah, reverence.
Yep.
To other entities. And they was worshiping demons.
Yep.
But they call it gods, but it was actually demons. And Israel was involved in some of these practices. And the reason that they was so heavily into because you see the same thing today. Jake do these rituals and they see something happening, right? Like a supernatural.
Yeah.
So they experience something supernatural and they assume of the Most High, or that it is the Most High. So you can't tell them it's demons. They're just like, no, you can't tell me what I experienced wasn't real. It's real, but who gave you the experience? The experiences, you did all these rituals, and you thought you was worshiping the Heavenly Father, but it was demons answering your prayers, and because you was doing all these rituals, But that's the thing. Like the people worship these entities, they see supernatural things, so it incentivizes them to continue. So they question where, rather than realizing these are all demons that you're worshiping.
Like what's that dude name? Rick Ross artist with the dreads. On Gunplay. He got locked up. He was facing some serious charges, and he said, he was believing in God, but he said he had to get out, so he went to the Santeria and he started seeing results.
Right.
He said at that moment I needed something higher than the Bible. You know what I mean? And then he came to realize that it was the Most High the whole time. Even on the left hand side, but the Most High controls both sides. But he started seeing results, like you saying. He's seen things. Yeah, he seen the demons.
It was demons blessing him.
He said that's how he stayed home.
Yeah, demons too.
Yeah.
That's why when Sin came to Yahweh Shah, he presented Yahweh Shah all these empires and all these blessings you could get. All you have to do is bow down and serve him, showing you that Sin could bless you too. And then, a lot of these people that be serving, doing rituals and practice craft, they be getting blessings from the left-hand side until it stops, because it comes price. Now, I was thinking about, this came to my mind, it comes with a price. Now, what's her name? Ella DeGeneres. For years, she was going to the island, the E Island, and, what's part of the practice is cannibalism. And now it is being said, it's not, it's not like a proven fact, but it's being said, rather. It's being said. She contracted some type of disease that is you only get it from, eating human flesh. Like there's certain diseases, I saw in some doctrine, there's certain diseases that you only get by eating human flesh or even having sex with the corpse. Like I believe I seen it somewhere. There was a guy, he had some type of illness. And I was like, how do you get this? The only way you can get this if you. I think he worked at a funeral home. So it was like and that's how he got caught.
Yeah.
I think that's how he got. I think it was like one of those like unsolved mysteries. Shit. He was doing that for years. You take somebody died in the hospital from cancer. Your family member died from cancer, whatever they died from, a heart attack, whatever. And you know, the hospital make arrangements with the funeral home, and the funeral home come take the body, dress up. But all along, that person that's dressing the body is having sex with your sister, your aunt, your mother, your corpse. You know, and you don't even know about it. So now they come to view the body, and there might be specimens of that person, and you know, and inside the dead corpse. And he's not gonna clean it out because who's gonna look? Who's gonna look to check for this stuff? You know, but there's matter of fact, somebody go look. What diseases comes out of having sex with dead corpse? And that's how they caught the dude.
I got the one on eating flesh.
You could get that. Read it.
Okay, it says, eating human flesh can expose someone to several serious infections and diseases, depending on how the tissue was affected and how it was prepared. There's one called coral, a fatal neurodegenerative disease historically associated. Coral. Okay.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
It says a fatal neurodegenerative disease historically associated with ritual consumption of human brain, prawns of unusually resistant to normal cooking methods. There's another one called...
So, we bring all this out to say what? A lot of people of the elite, they practice these things, and they may get blessed in the short term,
Right.
but they're not thinking in the long run. So now, I was speaking of Ellen DeGenerate, the reason I brought it out, you know, she, you know, these rituals, and now she had this condition, or it's being said she had this condition. And then now that's an embarrassment. You know, you gotta escape. You gotta leave the U.S. because your name's being broken. You're trying to stay low, but now this coming out about you. That's a bad way to go. That's a bad way to leave your name. You know, but that's what it is, though. You know, they sold. Cause she had a TV show. She was doing well off for herself. Now, when her name get brought up, it's a shame. It's an embarrassment. It's big with the island. There's certain names. Was a lot of celebrities was in, in these islands. But there's key names that keep coming up. You know, that constantly hit that was there all the time. So every time you hear their name, they get associated with it. So now right now their name is Mud. And then you hear other celebrities get asked about it. Yeah, even at Diddy parties, right? Like, I went to Diddy party too, but I left early.
Yeah, I left early.
Like, come on, man. Like, yeah. So, you know, you had the Diddy party, you had the Epstein, and that's just the ones we know about that came. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more type of parties. Michael Rubin parties.
Yeah, that's the new one,
You know what I'm saying? The white parties. There was one picture. What's that rapper name? The Baby.
Oh yeah.
And he had a guy for the big back. He's a known homosexual. And the photo he holding for the back. And he's like this. And he was embarrassed about that photo.
Yep.
Well, you can't take that photo away now. Right. And then now all this stuff coming out, you know what I'm saying? And it's embarrassing for him because now you got to explain that to your girl, your kids, your baby mother. Why is a homosexual? It's not just like a man, because then if it's just a regular man, he could wiggle his way around it. Now he gave me a hug, you know. But it's a known homosexual and known for doing he has a certain reputation, and he's behind you. This Rollins, like a picture came up, surface of Donnell Rollins at the Diddy party, but he's on the floor between Diddy legs. So there was like big jokes about that, like on the Breakfast Club, like, yo, like, why you between Diddy legs? Oh, truck, I didn't even know he was behind me. I didn't even know how that picture looked. But that picture will always be.
Right.
So the point is, you know, it's demons. People worship demons, and it comes with a price later. Yeah, you have your moment of fun, but it's a longer moment catching hell.
I got something real quick. This is Matthew 4 and verse 8. This is the devil, Satan, tempting the Lord. It says, again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms and the glory of them, and saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
So if you give somebody something, that's a blessing. So Satan presented blessings. Go ahead.
It says, verse 9, and saith unto him, verse 10, and then said Yahushua unto him, get thee hence, Satan.
So Yahushua, like, nah, get the hell out of here with that. Right?
For it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord Yahweh, and him only shalt thou serve.
There you go.
Yep.
So you want to be blessed by the Most High other than Satan, you know, because the right hand side is stronger than the left hand side.
Yep.
Well, you were talking about, you know, satanic worship. What was you reading before that? You had some.
Yeah, Job.
I was reading,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
Job
that was
20.
when I read the,
Yeah, so all these empires went down because they followed the ways of the Most High, and they were worshiping demons. And the demons was revealing themselves, and they were seeing the supernatural. Case in point, you read the account of the Egyptians. They had the power to take their rod and turn serpents. And the Lord told Moses, throw his serpent down, throw his rod down, and his rod became a bigger serpent and ate the other serpents. Showing you spiritual power on both sides, left hand side and the right hand side, and also showing the side is stronger than the left hand side.
Yeah, real quick. This is Matthew 16:26. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?
You got guys selling out. I forgot who made the joke. Somebody said this. It was in one of these interviews. Somebody asked him like, "Yo, what about all the people that sold out to Diddy right before he got locked up?" and they didn't get nothing out of it.
right.
They're like, "Yo, I wonder how they thinking about this shit. Like, they did all this shit, and then Diddy ain't nothing he could do for you no more." Somebody said that shit. And
Right.
It was a celebrity. And it was saying that in an interview. I don't know who it was. They ain't calling me now, but he was saying that shit like, you know, what about they sold out and then never got, and you know, they never got their part of the deal. So you just did all that shit for nothing. And there's people, and now this is, alright, this is just, there's no proof on it, but, was it, Black Rob, they said that Black Rob contracted that virus that, I don't want to say it, but you know that the HR Virginia. So was it Black Rob? Who rapper?
That guy?
No, it was not Black Rob. It's gonna come to me later. One of the bad boy artists. He died from
Chica?
died from HIV.
Black Rob died, right?
Black Rob.
One of them, okay.
Yeah, but it being said that he contracted it. Well, it's being rumored that he contracted it in one part. You know what I'm saying? Or did he did something for Diddy? You know, that's what they're saying. Now, is it true? I don't know. But I won't be so. It is true. So read it again.
Craig Mack.
Craig Mack, that's what I'm thinking about. Craig Mack, he died this out from that virus. And they're saying that
That's
it's
crazy.
a possibility from Diddy. You know, so he caught it from, you know, for Diddy violating him. Yeah.
So back in Matthew 16:26.
Now you gotta think about it too, right? Like in the industry, they all mess around with the same girls. And you know, so you know there's a lot of things going around the industry. Like Usher, they say he got the H virus. You know, he denied it. But I believe it's true.
Yeah.
Like, look, they all having sex with females, and you know, it's like there's a circle. So you telling me nobody caught nothing and passed it on? You know, like, you know, Chris Brown, Usher, gotta have it. They both gotta because they saying too, the reason why Chris Brown, you know, beat up Rihanna, because he contracted that from Rihanna and she contracted from Jay-Z. You know, and they saying Usher from Diddy when he was younger. I That's what they saying. But they all worship devils. You know, this is the price. You know, this is the price of the industry. You can't just come in. You gotta partake in these rituals, partake in these parties. They call it networking. And you know, if you want to be part of that circle, you have to network among them. You got to be part of certain acts, because if you're not participating in these acts, they look at you like they feel uncomfortable. Feds or some shit like, nah, you too. It's like that one, everybody drinking, that one person ain't drinking.
Yeah.
You know, like you're at the job, you're doing some shit. You know, it's coffee time, lunch time, and you know, you crack open a bed. The other person ain't drinking. So you kind of like. That might be the person that's telling us.
Yeah. It's like the mob or like the gangs. Like you gotta get your hands dirty.
You gotta get your hands dirty.
Like you can't, like, cause they gotta have something on you. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why that blackmail thing come in too.
Yeah. That's how everybody look at it. If you're not doing it, you can easily get blackmailed.
Exactly.
That's how the industry works. If you're not partaking in the acts, you're not welcome.
Right.
You know, you're not welcome. And that comes to the price. People do part. A lot of people get pressure and doing shit. And a lot of people, like, they phobia is having to go on war and having to go back to the hood.
Yep.
You know, they on guns and travel the world, and then now you're going back to whatever poverty. You know, you used to be a has-been. So they scared to be that. So like, so they ain't got no integrity. It's like,
Oh, no, you good. I think so.
yeah.
This Deuteronomy 32. I'm gonna start from 15, point in verse 17. So it says, "But Jeshurun waxed fat, hick, thou wax." It says, "Thou art waxing fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered."
Now the word fat really just something that's in abundance. Go ahead.
It said, "Thou art covered with fatness." Then he forsook God which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. Provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. With abominations provoked they him to anger.
So Israel was serving other gods. They had altars. They had these rituals going in secret to serve other gods, and they was giving credit to these deities rather than the Most High. And I'm pretty sure, like, they was getting some type of visions from these demons and stuff like that. The demons probably showed them what can happen the next day. That's how the demons lure you in. And people started continuing more and more. But it's demons. Okay?
Verse 17, it says, "They sacrifice unto devils."
There you go. Demons. Okay? So are spirits.
To gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came up, whom their fathers feared not.
That's right. I remember it was the bishop Ignat. He used to say this a lot. He said, Satan will take your be direct or indirect. Whereas the Most High, you gotta be direct. You gotta direct your prayer to Yahweh by Shem Shah. But Satan don't care. He'll take anybody. Now, I used to watch these videos of people I was into, like, they was talking about how certain things are demonic. And mostly be women talking about like creating vision boards and putting things in the universe, you know. So they would say, yeah, eventually they want a promotion at a job, they create this vision board and other ritual that people do. And they'll look at it every day and whatever other stuff they do. I can't think of everything right now. But he said eventually they'll get it. They'll say, like, I want this car within 5 years. They'll get it. But then they said it came with a price. Because after they will receive everything they want, they notice they'll start developing depression. And then not only will they get depression, they'll get like a lot of episodes of sleep paralysis. And sometimes they will see things, or sometimes they won't. And they'll just like, them demons just roam them while they driving. Like, they'll just see shit, start hallucinating. And sometimes they'll black out. And they'll come back, that was all from messing around with that shit.
Right.
She said, like, people talk about like it's innocent, but it comes to the price. There's people in the world talking about these things that a lot of women do.
Right.
And you say it goes on in churches a lot. But everything comes with a price.
Yeah.
then they found Jesus Christ.
Right.
They found the white man. Even that's a demon.
Yeah, he's more deep.
Speaking of demons, but
Oh, that was it.
This is Jeremiah chapter 44, verse, I'm going to start at 15. It says, Then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt and Pathros, answered Jeremiah, saying, As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord, we will not hearken unto thee, but we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the Lord, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we, our fathers, our kings, and our princes, in the cities of Judah, and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then had we plenty of victual, and were well, and saw no evil.
they were saying all these resources came from nothing. They saying, oh, we did these rituals, and we noticed our crops start to grow. Whereas they were serving the Most High, they didn't get these benefits. That's what they were saying, you know, like, and trust me, Jake do that to this day. Like they that live off the land, they do these rituals, and to get a plentiful crop. Right?
And it says, verse 18, But since we left off burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, have wanted all things, and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine. And when we burned incense to the Queen of Heaven, and poured out drink offerings unto her, did we make her cakes to worship her, and pour out drink offerings unto her without our men? Then Jeremiah said unto all the people, to the men and to the women, and to all the people which had given him that answer, saying, The incense that ye burned in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, ye and your fathers, your kings and your princes, and the people of the land, did not the Lord, and came it not into his mind?
I'm saying spirits back here today. Those are the same people that they'll say, well, they're still reading the Bible. The white man gave us the Bible in slavery. Now we got to go to what we was doing in Africa. That's the same souls, and they'll be worshiping all this other shit.
It says, verse 22, so that the Lord could no longer bear of the evil of your doings, and because of the abominations which ye have committed. Therefore is your land a desolation, and an astonishment, and a curse without an inhabitant, as at this day. It says, because ye have burned incense, and because ye have sinned against the Lord, not obeyed the voice of the Lord, nor walked in his law, nor in his statutes, nor in his testimonies. Therefore this evil is happened unto you as at this day.
There you go. The Most High brought evils upon them. And the Most High is a jealous power. And they're giving reverence to these different entities rather than worshiping the Most High. And the same thing's gonna happen in this time. You know, there's a lot of our people that's into a lot of different, and they're gonna be punished for it.
I was noticing a lot of, I don't know, it might be some Muslim shit going on.
Oh yeah.
Some young Jakes too, walking around. I was thinking about, they go back worship that stone in Mecca, and they go back to the Queen of Heaven worship. The stone looks like a vagina hole, like the entryway when you look it up. You know, like them
Worshiping a rock.
Yeah, worshiping a rock as well. Them spirits are still active. You got Jake. I was listening to some song one day, Benjamin, or Jamaican cat, whatever. And then he said, you know, you throw the OBO on it, and it's going to clear. He talking about checks and shit. I'm like, you see it? And he's solid on the song. You know what I mean? Santeria, Blue Eye, Voodoo. That's why Haiti got jacked up. That's one of the main reasons. Outside of the Christianity, which that's a whole idol. You know? Our people is just enticed, man, inflamed by these gods. You know? And one of the first commandments, the Lord said he's a jealous power. So, you know what I mean? Imagine you got a woman and her mind is towards every other entity outside of you. You don't want nothing to do with her. You know?
Fucking the whole block.
Yeah.
So this was spiritual.
Yeah, scripture say that has many lovers.
Yeah.
You know, that's all these, you fought all these gods, man.
You see drinking Hinduism, man. Go to the subway, I see the nigga with the red dot. With them damn Indians, man. The whole outfit and everything, man. Hey, man, that's how you know who the Israelites are.
You got women that want to pray for you and shit. They'll be the worst ones. They'll be the biggest demons. I'm about, oh, can I share hands over me? Oh, that for the movie, I told the story. Denzel Washington. Your hands over. But it's always the ones that had a past of being a 3 or 4.
Right.
It's not like it's a sincere one that lived their life modestly. And, even if they're going off, you be like, they might believe in Jesus, but they still live like decent, right? They be the ones that they've been a 3 or 4 their whole life. Now they older. They don't look as good as they did before, so they not get attention. Don't walk to the store got a lot quicker than it did before, because when she was looking good, everybody could stop her, try to talk to her. Now that walk is getting a lot faster. Nobody paying her no mind, and she noticed it. Now she want to go to the church and find some sucker, that's gonna, believe that she's a saint. Ain't no fucking saint. I remember one girl I was talking to. She's I almost said my government. I'm a good girl. Good girl. I'm like, bitch. And it's the same. I remember the same girl. She didn't remember we had sex before. She's like, I went to high school though. So I ran through this talking, and like reminiscing and shit. And so I brought up that and she's like, we did. I'm like, dang, you don't remember? Like, but they try to flip on me. It's like, well, if I don't remember it, that means it wasn't. That's pretty much what you try to say. And my was like, listen, you just had too many to remember.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Remember.
Damn shame.
Because you can play that game all you want, because in the back of my mind, I'm still going to think like, damn, how many people you fuck, you can't remember everybody.
I had a woman like that too.
I'm like, that makes you look bad. You know what I'm saying? Now, if she was the type of girl that let's say she was straight up, there's some hoes that straight up.
Yeah.
They don't mind being called sluts. They know they sluts, but then be the ones that trying to give off perception about herself, but they try to say stuff like that. I'm like, come on, man. But anyway, where was that?
Sure.
You can.
This is Ezekiel in verse. I'm gonna start. I start at 5. Then I'm gonna start at 4. And behold, God is the Most High.
Now, I'm about to tell you too, man. These women, like, if you meet them, just know you mean their facade, bro. And they're gonna give up this wholesome facade until you get to know them. Like, she's gonna act all innocent and. Wait till you have sex with her. You can see how much of a freak she is.
Right.
You might be popping up. She may try to suck your finger in, all type of shit. Like, damn. I know I ain't touched one. Like how many fingers you have in your mouth? They got freaky and shit. So, like these bras. Nah, she want to be a freak man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. The problem is you had too many partners you was freaky with. That's supposed to be exclusive. Ain't nothing wrong. Ain't no law against being a freak. These women have too many people in their past. But the problem is, you got a lot of men, they fall for this shit. That's why a lot of guys, they get messed up in the head. Because you believe, you believe the facade. You never believe the facade. You ask her body count, whatever number she say, you got to multiply it by 10, maybe even more. Whatever she say, 150. So you say 2, that's 100. So you just got to keep in mind, these women are wicked. They wicked.
You got to multiply that, like when your house said, how many times you forget your brother?
Right.
70 times 7.
That's how they are. That's what you say too. Don't be surprised if you trespass against you. Because that's nature. Now, look, there are some decent females, but There ain't that many of them. Trust me.
Yeah.
You know, that's an anomaly. That's the exception. You know, the majority you're gonna run into just know that it's a facade. You know, you don't really want to know, bro. You be surprised shit that cross their mind, and they act like it's on them. You ever meet a chick, you talk to her, and you think she wasn't paying you no mind, but she had the whole she was watching you the whole time. She doesn't give you eye contact. She know what color socks she had on that day. Like, how you see all of that shit? But they be fronting. It's like, go ahead.
No, you're right.
I ain't trying to get off time.
This is Ezekiel 8 and verse 4. And behold, the glory of the Most High of Israel was there, according to the vision that I saw in the plain. Then said he unto me, Son of man, lift up thine eyes now toward the north. So I lifted up my eyes the way toward the north. And behold, the north way of the altar, this image of jealousy and the entry. He said furthermore unto me, Son of man, seest thou what they, even the great abominations that the house of Israel committeth here, that I should go far off from my sanctuary? But I turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations. Brought me to the door of the court, and when I looked, behold, a hole in the wall. Then said he unto me, Son of man, dig now in the wall. When I had digged in the wall, behold, the door. And he said unto me, Go in, and behold the wicked abominations that they do here. So I went in and saw, and behold, every form of creeping thing, and abominable beast, and all the idols of the house of Israel, portrayed upon the wall round about. It says, and there stood before them 70 men of the house of Israel, and in the midst of them stood Jazaniah, the son of Shaphan.
Yeah, you gotta think about it like this too. There's a lot of jigs that go to the churches,
Right.
and they still be doing it in witchcraft.
Yeah.
But they do that in secret. But then they'll go to the church Sunday morning, as if all they praise to the Most High. But they'll go see a psychic Monday morning, you know. And then they're into like tarot card readings and shit, getting all types of fucking readings.
Yeah.
But all while a member of the church. And guess what? The pastor don't check that shit. But that show you the spirit that they don't have no fear.
My mom's aunt, she was doing that. Like, she would go to church every day, but behind the scenes,
Every day.
Yeah, every day. Literally, religiously, every day she would go to church. Sometimes twice a day. But behind the scenes, she was dealing with spirits, man. She was dealing, you know, but the whole time, you know, if you see her, like, you think, oh, she's holy, you know, like, oh, such a nice lady, whatever. Now, behind the scenes, she's dealing with demons, man.
Yeah. And you know what, though? She's probably going to church every day, man.
No.
That's why. That's usually, they lonely. They get to a certain age, and they only go to the church for, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Recreation?
No, to be around other people, their own peers, and it's a social thing. Yeah, just to socialize.
Yeah.
They be lonely at home, they ain't got nobody to talk to, they ain't got no husband, the kids is grown, you know, and the kids got their kids. So to get rid of that loneliness, they go to the church, you know, every day because they need a community. That's the only reason they go. They're not there to serve the Most High, learn about the Most High. They just there to have somebody to talk to. But they lonely.
It says, Ezekiel 8, a little more, and 11, with every man his censer in his hand, and a thick cloud of incense went up. Then he said unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house do in the dark? Every man in the chambers of his imagery, for they say, the Lord seeth us not, the Lord hath forsaken the earth.
Go back to that instance.
Okay, a little before. I'm going to read it. Verse 11. There stood before them 70 men of the ancients of the house of Israel, and in the midst of them stood Jazaniah, the son of Shaphan, with every man his censer in his hand, and a thick cloud of incense went up.
Thank you. Keep going.
Okay.
So pretty much like the corruption within the temple,
Yeah.
like the high priest.
Yep.
They go to the holy, you had to fill the room with incense and smoke with a cloud of incense. So they couldn't see the mercy seat.
The mercy seat?
It's talking about the chamber.
Yeah, the Ark of the
Holy
Covenant.
Holies.
Yeah, the Ark of the Covenant. Yeah, if they didn't see it, they would die. So they had to
Yeah, it said thick smoke.
Yeah.
Nah, that's heavy, yeah.
So this is corruption of the high priest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it says, and thick cloud of incense went up. So they was going crazy. Then said he unto me, Son of man, has the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark, every man in the chambers of his imagery, for they say, Yahweh seeth us not, Yahweh hath forsaken the earth. And he said unto me, turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see great abominations that they do. Then he went, they brought me to the door of the gate of Yahweh's house, which was toward the north, and behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. Yeah, the women, everybody was with the shits, you know?
You know, the Marys,
Yep.
kind of the same shit.
Yeah, Tammuz, right?
Pretty much all Israel was
Yeah, yep.
the citizens, to the elders, the priests.
Yeah, because if the priests come out, then
Yeah.
It says, so now, and it says, then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, north. So the north gate where the woman was at, you know, it's section off, and they was weeping for Tammuz, you know? It says, and behold, that woman weeping for Tammuz. Then said he unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than these. And then they go into them worshiping the sun, worshiping false gods, man. That's Israel, you know? And today that consists of 2/3 of the nation. Because if you're not praising Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you know, that ain't no light in you, you know?
According to your cities or your gods. You got more gods than you have cities, man. For the Jake house, you know, Jake got multiple statues all over the house. You see Ephraim be driving their cars. You see all types of statues in the back of the car. Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? All types of Virgin Mother Mary and Jesus and, you know. Hey, man, Jake is giving over into idolatry, man. That was the whole, you know, issue between the Most High and the God, man. They saw the daughters of men that they were fair, right? So what? You start going to the other men of other nations, and then what? You get corrupt by following their gods. That's what happened to King Solomon. You know, so that's how we, you know, end up becoming Gentiles as well. You know, you start teaching them the ways of other gods. What? You start diminishing from the scriptures. So what? You don't circumcise your children no more. You don't gotta do this. You don't gotta do that. And before you know it, the whole generation, you know, is wicked, man. You know, now you got Jake into all types of holidays. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's worshiping other gods too. Those holidays is worshiping pagan gods, man. Scripture. Isaiah chapter 66, verse 2. Verse 3. It says, he that killeth an ox is as if he slew a man. He that sacrifices a lamb as if he cut off a dog's neck. He that offereth an oblation as if he offered swine's blood. He that burnt incense as if he blessed an idol. Yea, they have chosen their own ways, and their soul delighteth in nations. This is Isaiah 66:3. He that killeth an ox is as if he slew a man. He that sacrificeth a lamb as if he cut off a dog's neck. He that offereth an oblation as if he offered swine's blood. He that burneth incense as if he blessed an idol. Yea, they have chosen these, and their soul delighteth in their abominations.
Yeah, so in a nutshell, pretty much their sacrifices were like meaningless. Okay? Because, you know, it wasn't Israel, it wasn't such a heart. All right? You know, their sacrifice just to cover their sins, but they were just gonna go back and do it again. All right? So it's like their sacrifices were pretty much their sacrifices is you sacrificing lawful animals is just as good as you sacrificing a dog or a swan, okay? Because it's meaningless, man. It's meaningless to the Lord. Your sacrifice has become impure to the Most High because your reasons behind it. The intent behind it.
I will also choose their delusions and will bring the fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before my eyes and did choose that in which I delighted not.
Right. So Israel, they just continue in this, man. Right. And that's why the Lord got us in this predicament today. Mm-hmm. You know, and the Lord chose our delusions, man. All right. The curses speak about, look, curses upon us. Are we going to serve? Yeah, look, He's going to give you up to your vow of doing. The Lord's going to give you up to those idols that you're going to serve, or to your destruction. Okay. Okay.
Like I said, it's the basics, man. This is Exodus 20 and verse. Start at 2. I am the Lord thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt not have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make anything graven, any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, and in earth beneath.
And that's our people today, man. They're all into idolatry, especially the Latin tribes. You see, they worshiping all kind of stones and Jesus Christ statues. That wearing a cross on your neck. Those are all idolatry, man. And our people is heavy into that. And this is why we are in the predicament that we're in, on the bottom, living together in poverty. You know, being oppressed by the heathen, being oppressed by the so-called white people, because we refuse to serve the true powers, man. We keep going whoring after the gods of other nations, walking around talking about some Jesus Christ, Islam, you know, God, that God. Because Israel they constantly want to be like other nations instead of serving their own power, which is the Most High God, Yahweh, according to the Bible.
Or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh, thy power, am a jealous, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
Yeah, this is why the Most High judging us to this day, because the sins of our forefathers, we're our forefathers today, man, coming back. And the Lord is judging us for the sins of the past. The Lord told us not to serve other gods, right? But although those idols, they're not statues or the stone, there's power behind it, deities behind those idols, okay? And that's ultimately why we're not supposed to serve them, because you have demonic forces, entities that's behind the idol, okay? There's a demonic influence to get these nations to serve those idols. This is why the Lord told Israel not to go into those things.
Chapter 16, verse 2. Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shemashah power unto Jerusalem, thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite, and thy mother a Hittite.
Yeah, one more time.
It says, and say, verse 2, Slacket. Ezekiel 16 and 2. Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abomination, and say, Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah power unto Jerusalem. Thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite, and thy mother a Hittite.
Right, so what the Lord is saying, you're doing after the ways of the Canaanites, all right? Your parents, all right, your mother and your father are the Canaanites, are the Amorites. Why? Because you're taking after their ways, you're taking after their customs. You're worshiping idols. Instead of worshiping the Lord, the true mother, your parents, the ones who was birthing you, are the Canaanites. Why? Because you're doing after their ways. Okay? Your customs, your sacrifices that you're doing. Sacrificing your children, passing your children over the fire. All right? You're doing after the ways of the Canaanites. Yeah.
It says, as for thy nativity and the day that was born, thy navel was not cut, neither was thou washed in water to supple thee. Thou was not salted at all, nor swaddled at all. None I pity to do any of these unto thee, to have compassion upon thee.
Yeah, so from the top.
It says, and as for thy nativity, the day thou was born, thy navel was not cut, neither was thou washed in water to supple thee. Thou was not salted at all, nor swaddled at all.
Yeah, so the Lord is poetic speaking, referencing Israel like a pretty much abandoned infant, right? The navel wasn't even cut, just laying in his blood, like an infant laid out in his blood, man. The navel, the umbilical cord still attached, pretty much left for dead. Yeah.
It says, none I pity thee to do any of these unto thee, to have compassion.
Right, and the nations then, pity Israel and have compassion. And this is like the time we're like a child left for dead, doing like the time of us in Egypt, right? In bondage of the Egypt.
It says, but thou was cast out in the open field to the loathing of thy person that thou was born. And when I passed,
as a nation, we was in Egypt, right? We were pretty much, we were slaves, we was captives, like left for dead, oppressed.
It says, and when I passed by thee and saw thee polluted in thine own blood, I said unto thee, when thou was polluted, when thou was in thy blood, live.
Yeah, and that's the Lord, right? Who the Lord delivered us, all right, out of Egypt, and took us to Himself to be His people, all right. So like the Lord is finding us stranded, this stranded infant laying in the blood, and look, the Lord came to deliver us, save us, and nurture us.
It says, yea, I said unto thee, when thou was thy blood, live. I have caused thee to multiply.
When thou was in thy blood, live, man. And that's what the Lord did to deliver us out of Egypt, bring us to His people, and give us what? His laws, statutes, and commandments, so that we can.
It says, I have caused thee to multiply as the bud of the field, and thou hast increased and waxen great, and thou art come to excellent ornaments. Thy breasts are fashioned, and thine hair is grown.
And so, like the Most High nurtured the baby, took care of them. All right, fed that baby, healed that baby, nurtured them, and that's what the Lord did with us. Bringing us to the land, the Israel, making the priests, making priests out of the Levites, giving us our His Lord commandments, the increase that we need, all right, to flourish, everything, man.
It says, thy breasts are fashioned, and thine hair is grown, whereas thou wast naked and bare. Now when I passed by thee, and behold, thy time was the time of love, and I spread my skirt over thee, and covered thy nakedness. Yea.
His Lord, statutes, commandments, okay? That's how the Lord covered us. Our nakedness, our sins, our transgressions. The Most High, He separated, I have chosen you to be a holy people unto myself, right? Or peculiar people. The Most High, He separated us from the nations to make us holy. He sanctified us. He separated us from the ways of the nations, the sins that we knew in Egypt. And look, follow my Lord's statutes and commandments.
It says, yea, I swear unto thee, and entered into a covenant with thee, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah, became as mine. Then washed I thee with water, yea, I
sanctified us. Right? Lord's statutes and commandments.
Sure, it's not only talking about physical water.
That's right, God. Yeah, not physical water. And that's what the Christians don't understand. These so-called Christians don't understand, man. Alright? Water baptism is only symbolic. We're truly washed by the words, okay? That's why I said
No, I was gonna say what Chris says. They don't understand anything.
Yeah, they don't understand.
This is how they study God. Start off, jump to Matthew. You know, they start Matthew to Revelation and thinking they're gonna understand the scriptures. Like they don't know the whole Bible's about Israel. You know, God forbid you ask them what sin is. You know, they won't be able to answer that because they don't know anything. You know, like we talk about they really don't know anything at all. And you know, so like we touch on certain topics, they look at you, what are you talking about? Or that can be the understanding. Whereas what we need to make sense, and a lot of the stuff that we say, the scholars agree with it too. You know, that's all.
It says,
how much you got?
I'm gonna jump down to the.
Go to the point. You got it for.
It's not my fault.
Make sure everybody stay awake.
It's not
And let me get on Wisdom of Solomon's 12. Oh, so get it on Wisdom of Solomon 12. Like,
12?
Yeah, read 3 and 4. So we were
Wisdom of
talking about-
Solomon.
So it spoke about these nations, right? And Jake was following the mannerisms and the practices of the ancient Canaanites. And this is what it was known for. That
So that start at 3?
yeah.
All right. This is Wisdom of Solomon 12. For it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both these old inhabitants of thy holy land, whom thou hast for doing most odious works of witchcraft.
Going into those Canaanites. So that was the reason why the Most High removed the Canaanites out of the land, and we came to inherit the land. Right?
And wicked sacrifices, and also these merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh, and the feast of blood. That's what these elites practice to this day. It says, okay.
Read again.
Verse 4, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices.
So that's a definite channeling of demons. You know, now witchcraft is the practice of invoking spirits, and they view that as being a trait. You know, and there's levels to invoking spirits. But Canaanites, they was heavy into that, and they'll be invoking all types of demons, strong demons. They was able to do like think about the Egyptians, right? You see the level, the ability they was able to do, you know, invoking strong demons. But go ahead. But that's the reason why the Most High cast out the Canaanites for what they was even get. For them to even invoke certain spirits, it came with certain practices. We're gonna read about it, like child sacrifice. You know, like they don't say it. You know, a lot of certain rituals and call for period blood. You know, that's stuff they into. You gotta read.
This is, whom thou hatest for doing the most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices, and also those merciless murderers of children.
Yeah, so merciless murder of children, so children sacrifice. So certain ritual called for children to be sacrificed. You know, look, there's a lot of we was talking about, what's the name? I forget. Ellen DeGeneres, right? Now, Mel Gibson has said it, or he touched on it, like he had a suspicion, but he wasn't sure if somebody confirmed it. You know, there was a lot of, you know, drink blood. They call it adrenochrome because it's the blood of children that had a lot of adrenaline in it. So they were drinking that for immortality, or not, but long life, to maintain their youth. They even had blood infusions, or they would drink it. Go ahead.
It says, and devourers of man's flesh and the blood.
The feast of blood. That's adrenochrome. You know, so today they call it adrenochrome. But I show you that those Canaanites, they was practicing, and they practiced consuming human blood. Go ahead.
With their priests out the midst
Why
of...
you think too, like a lot of those, they had, you should catch hemorrhoids and all types of stuff. Pretty sure they was catching all types of parasites, you know, all types of diseases. Because they lifestyle choices. Go ahead.
With their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew, and the parents with their own hands, souls destitute of help.
Yeah.
That the land which thou esteemest above all other might receive worthy colony of God's children.
Yeah, that's what we need to get to. Let's go to the next one.
This is Leviticus 22. Ye shall therefore keep all my statutes and all judgments, and do them, that the land whither I bring you to dwell therein spew you not out. It says,
Read it slow.
it says Leviticus 20 and
Loud and
22.
slow. Okay.
It says, ye shall therefore keep all my statutes and all my judgments, and do them, that the land whither I bring you to dwell in spew you not out.
What's the land that we're supposed to dwell in? The land of Israel. Right? The first inhabitants was the Canaanites. So the Lord says, read that one more time.
It says, ye shall therefore keep all my statutes and all my judgments.
All his statutes, all his judgments, which is the law that given to Moses to be passed down to Israel, the do's and don'ts. Because when you read the law, these acts was taking place in the land of Canaan, and the acts was happening in Egypt. So the Most High is telling them not to do these things. Okay?
It says, at the land whither I bring you to dwell therein, spew you not out, and ye shall not walk in the manners of the nation which I cast out before you, for they committed all these things.
But they committed all these things. Leviticus 20, that's Leviticus 20, right?
20 and 23, yeah.
Now, you're at 23?
Yeah.
Start at, jump up for a second. Jump to verse 9.
This is Leviticus 20 and 9. For everyone that curseth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death.
That was happening where? In the land of Canaan. You only jumped up a couple verses. Go ahead.
It says, he that curseth his father or mother, his blood shall be upon him.
Go ahead.
And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer.
So that was happening. Adultery was happening. Go ahead. What verse is that?
Verse 10.
Go ahead.
And the adulteress,
Go to verse out. I should read it.
says, shall surely be put to death. Verse
So we had
11.
adultery happening in the land. That's why the law was taking them out. Go ahead.
Leviticus 20 and 11. And the man that lived with his father's wife hath uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them shall be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them.
This was happening. This is why the Lord was telling us not to do that. Go ahead.
And if a man lie with his daughter-in-law, both of them shall surely be put to death. They have wrought confusion. Their blood shall be upon them.
Go ahead.
Verse 13. If a man lie with mankind, as he lied with a woman, both of them have committed abomination.
So homosexuality was happening in the land of Israel before the Most High drove them out, right? So that's homosexuality. What you could include man on man, woman on woman. You know, because say man, that does not exclude woman as well. You got to understand the Bible is written in the form, but it applies to woman as well. Okay?
It says, they shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them.
Go ahead.
And if, verse 14, and if a man take a wife and her mother, it is, they shall be burnt with fire, both he and they, that there be no wickedness among you.
Go ahead.
Verse 15, and if a man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death.
That's the animal. You know, so you see that happen here too. You know, a lot of those, you know, the Edomites, even Jake, that be living in the farm, they be, you know, having sex with the chickens and the cow and all types of stuff. You know, but that's reality. Go ahead.
And ye shall slay the beast.
They both kill the animal and that person. Right?
Verse 16, And if a woman approach unto any beast and lie down thereto, thou shalt kill the woman and the beast. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Verse 17. And if a man shall take his sister, his father's daughter,
Incest. Right.
or his mother's daughter, and see her nakedness, and she see his nakedness, it is a wicked thing, and they shall cut off in the sight of their people. He hath uncovered his sister's nakedness, he shall bear his iniquity.
Go ahead.
Verse 18. And if a man shall live with a woman having her sickness, and shall uncover her nakedness, he hath discovered her fountain, and she hath uncovered the fountain of her blood, and both of them shall be cut off from among their people. Verse 19. And thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy sister, nor of thy father's sister, for he uncovereth his near kin. They shall bear their iniquity.
So your near kin is your immediate family. Go ahead.
Verse 20. And if a man shall lie with his uncle's wife, he hath uncovered his uncle's nakedness. They shall bear their sin. They shall die childless. Verse 21. And if a man shall take his brother's wife, it is he hath uncovered his brother's nakedness. They shall be childless. 22.
That falls under adultery. Now you said verse 22. So now we back at 22. Go ahead.
Verse 22. Ye shall
This is the context to what we read at verse 22, because all these things was happening in the land of Canaan, and they was committing these acts not just because they was just wicked. Yes, they was just doing it for pleasure and sport, but a lot of it too had to do with certain rituals they was practicing.
It says, ye shall therefore keep all my statutes and all my judgments, and do them, that the land whither I bring you to dwell therein spew you not out.
Right.
And ye shall
But
not.
the land has spewed them out. The Most High took them out. Right.
It says, and ye shall not walk in the manners of the nations which I cast out before you.
That's why Israel was justified in going in there and slaughtering them. Right.
It says, for they committed all these things, and therefore I abhorred them. Verse 23.
Reach 24.
Okay, verse 24. But I have said to you, ye shall inherit their land, and I will give it unto you to possess it, a land that floweth with milk and honey. I am the Lord, Yahweh Shai, your power, which have separated you from other people.
Yeah, so that's the point, you know. So the Most High, He gave us these laws to be holy and to separate our mannerism from the mannerism of the heathen. And a lot of the things that was given was things that was already happened that was against the laws of the Most High or against the ways of the Most High. You know, now before it was put on and given to Moses, the law was good. But during the time of Moses, it was put into stone. Right? What else point?
Joshua chapter 24, verse 4.
I just take that out too.
Joshua chapter 24, verse 14. Now therefore fear the Lord, and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood, and in Egypt, and serve ye the Lord.
Wait, God. That's a different religion that Jake is involved with now. Go ahead.
Verse 15. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom ye will serve, the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the God of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Verse 16. And the people answered and said, I will forbid that we should forsake the Lord to serve other gods. For the Lord our power, He brought us out and our fathers out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage, and which did those great signs in our sight and preserved us in all the way wherein we went.
Go ahead.
And among all the people through whom we passed, verse 18, and the Lord drave out for us all the people, even the Amorites,
All Canaanite nations.
even the Amorites which dwelt in the land. Therefore will we also serve the Lord, for he is our power. Verse 19, and Joshua said unto the people, ye cannot serve the Lord, for he is an holy power, holy God. He is a jealous power. He will not forgive your transgressions nor your sins.
That's it. Right.
This is Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 9. It says, and the Lord said unto me, a conspiracy is found among the men of Judah and among the inhabitants. They are turned back to the iniquities of their forefathers, which refused to hear my words, and they went after other gods to serve them. The house of Israel and the house of Judah have broken my covenant, which I fathers. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. It says, then shall the cities of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem go and cry to the gods unto whom they offer incense, but they shall not save them at all in the time of their trouble. For according to the number of thy cities were thy gods, O Judah, and according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem have ye set up altars to that shameful thing, even altars to burn incense unto Baal.
Get Exodus 19 back to you.
It says, therefore, pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or pray for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble.
Yeah, Jeremiah.
Yeah, Jeremiah.
Don't have no sympathy for people. Because mercy was extended unto them. Don't pray for them no more. So now it says, for they have broken his covenant. Now let's go to Exodus 19 and start at 4.
This is Exodus 19 and verse 4. Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bear you on eagle's wings unto myself. Now therefore,
So now this is post deliverance of Israel out of Egypt. Now they're in the wilderness, and now the Lord is speaking to Moses. Right.
it says, now therefore, now
Verse
verse 5. Now therefore, if you will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and holy nation.
So this is a covenant that was being established with Israel and the Most High through Moses. This is known as the Mosaic covenant. Right?
These are the words which thou shalt speak
These are the words thou shalt speak. Right?
unto the children of Israel.
Go ahead.
And Moses came and called for the elders.
So he established the elders to come first, because that was the leaders of Israel. Go ahead.
And called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which Yahweh commanded him. Keep going. It says, and all the people answered together and said, all that Yahweh have spoken,
All that Yahweh has spoken.
we will do.
So the Lord, Moses came, presented the words to Israel, and outlined the covenant, and it was based off terms and conditions, based off they kept the law or they broke the law. So they comply by saying all the words of the law we will do. Go ahead.
And Moses
That's the
returned.
agreement. Go ahead.
And Moses returned the words of people unto Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto Moses, lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever. And Moses spoke of the people until Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto Moses, go unto the people and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes.
Sanctify themselves. So in other words, they didn't have sex in 3 days. You had to become holy. Go ahead.
And be ready against the third day, for the third day Yahweh will come down in the sight of all people upon Mount Sinai.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about, saying, take heed to yourselves that ye go not up into the mount, or touch the border of it. Touch the mount shall surely be put to death.
So the Lord set borders. You don't pass those borders or even touch anything. Go ahead.
There shall not a hand touch it, but he shall surely be or shot through, whether it be beast or man, shall not live. When the trumpet soundeth long, they shall come up to the mount.
Go ahead.
And Moses went down from the mount unto the people and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, be ready against the third day, come not at your wives. And it came to pass on the third in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings.
That was the presence of the majesty of the Most High. So they seen light thundering. They felt the power of the Most High. This is on the third day after the covenant, the agreement was established with Israel and the Most High through Moses. The Most High is giving an introduction, you know, like that's his intro, his entrance. Okay.
And a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of a trumpet exceeded loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled.
They all got scared. They saw the power of the Most High, sort of thundering, and you know, and it don't say it, but I'm pretty sure the ground was vibrating.
Yeah.
You know, you're rumbling. You can feel like going through the hairs of your skin, like you felt the vibration in your skin.
The trumpet sounded, so you know a trumpet it leaves a vibration, like how you hear music, and when the bass is sounding, like they trumpet, so they fat. Boom. It was like a chilling. It says, I'm gonna read it again. It says, and it passed on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings, and the cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet the Most High, Yahweh, and they stood at neither part of the mount. Keep going.
That's pretty much the point.
This is Psalms chapter 78, verse 58. It says, provoked him to anger with their high places, and moved him to jealousy with their graven images. When Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua heard this, he was wroth and greatly abhorred Israel, so that he for the tabernacle of Shiloh, the tent which he placed among them, and delivered his strength into captivity, and his glory into the enemy's hand. He gave his people over also unto the sword, and was wroth with inheritance. The fire consumed their young men, and their maidens were not given to marriage. Their priests fell by the sword, and their widows no lamentation. It says, then the Lord awake as one out of sleep, and like a mighty man that shouteth by wine. And he smote his enemies in the hinder parts, and he put them to a perpetual reproach. That's a thing of that.
Speak on it.
Yeah, so pretty much always went off against the Most High, worshiping these pagan gods, and the Most High sent us to captivity. You know, the curses of Deuteronomy 28 would overtake us, like the scriptures say. You know, the curses would overtake us, basically no power to get out of it. So every time Israel went off, followed the ways of these other nations, worshiping their gods, the Most High would raise up another nation to come and put us in captivity. So this is why we in this predicament as a people today, because we, during the Dark Ages was worshiping Christianity, Islam, taking West Africa, was getting into those pagan African gods, into voodoo and all of that. So now we find ourselves in captivity, and that's because of sins that we did in our past lives. And then towards the end, I'm gonna read it. It says, verse 65. Then the Lord awake as one out of sleep, and like a mighty man that shouted by reason of wine. So pretty much the Most High always took us out of captivity. And this time around, it's been like 500 years since we've been in slavery. So it looked like the Most High sleep. The Most High ain't, he didn't show up for us all these years. So the heathens, the scriptures say how in the kingdom the Hamites go, verily thou art a God that hidest thyself, O God of Israel. The Most High, he's hidden himself for all these ages. Nobody's seen miracles. They ain't seen, the wonders yet. Right. But now the Most High is getting ready to do his work, his miracles, his wonders upon Egypt. You're getting ready to see great things. Plagues upon plagues, man. It says it in 2 Ezra 15. The Lord is going to smite Egypt with plagues as before. So the plagues of Egypt are coming back. The plague of darkness. You already see black.
This is modern day Egypt.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, get that in Jeremiah.
No.
16 and 16.
No.
16 and 14, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Isaiah 22, verse 13. The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies.
And the enemies is comprised of all the nations, including insubordinate Israel. Go ahead.
Verse 14. I have long time holiness. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry a travailing woman, I will destroy and devour at once. Verse 15, I will make...
Now, a travailing woman is a woman giving birth and having those labor pains. And it is excruciating pain. So, the Most High is going to show his wrath, and people going to accept the wrath and the power of the Most High. Go ahead.
Verse 15, I will make waste mountains and hills and up all their herbs.
And this is going to come. So the destruction that's going to come, it's going to literally change the makeup of the planet Earth. Like, certain mountains won't be in existence anymore. Right. There's going to be more lands. They're gonna be lands that are gonna come, they're gonna rise up out of the ocean. Certain areas certain rivers gonna dry up.
And I will make the rivers islands, and I will dry up the pools.
I'll make the river islands, and I'll dry up all their pools. And this ain't talking about swimming pools that have chlorine. You wake up in the morning, and you went to bed. You had a blue pool. With the lights, the LED lights around, they wake up like, what happened to the pool? And they ain't talking about that. They're talking about bodies of waters. All right. Just in case somebody want to get stupid, because you got a lot of chicks that is. They I hate to say it, but you got a lot of stupid chicks out there. So that's it. But
This is Jeremiah 16 and 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that liveth. So I get set. Read it again.
take your time.
Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
Right, because when the Most High delivered Israel, he delivered Israel as a boat out of the land of Egypt. And there was a major deliverance, so much that among the nation on how Most High delivered Egypt, to the point it's still talking to this day. And now the deliverance that's going to happen is going to be a deliverance out of America. So it will be a second exodus. And the second exodus is going to outdo the first exodus. That nobody's gonna be talking about ancient Egypt. They're gonna be about the modern day Egypt, the deliverance out of modern day Egypt. So go ahead.
Verse 15. But the Lord Yahweh liveth the children of Israel from the land of the north.
The land of the north is talking about America, right? North America. Now, as far as Central and South America, we don't know what the Most High is gonna do. You know, we believe they're gonna be preserved, but like the North America is gonna be completely destroyed. So the Most High, he's gonna outdo what he did in Egypt. Right?
This is that
It's like you watch a movie, and like it might be an old movie from the 80s, and you know, and then it gets done. Now it's more graphic and more detailed, better CGI, you know. Whereas before, it was like, you know, the graphic was bad. The Most High is gonna outdo himself. You know, he's gonna you thought Egypt was bad, you're gonna see times. I don't want to put a number on it. So it's gonna get bad.
It says, but the Lord liveth that brought the children of Israel from the land of the north and from all the lands whether he had driven. And I will bring them again into their land.
So all the lands we have driven them. So Israel scattered all over the place.
Yep.
You know, because it's not just Israel in America. You got Israel and certain parts of Africa. Most of the jig in Africa, they locate in most of the coastal areas of Africa. You know, like you might see them in West Africa near the coast areas of South Africa. And you got jig in Russia, you got jig in Europe, you got jig in China, India. You know, so you have jig coming out all parts of the earth. You got jig in the Caribbean islands. All over the world. Right?
It says, and from all the lands, whether he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
Right, so the land he gave to our fathers was the land of Israel. And we read about how the Canaanite was cast out of that land. And we took over that land. But really in the spirit, it belonged to us anyway.
Right.
You know, the Lord set it up to them to be there so we can take their ass out. You know, just for us just to take their ass out. Because that's the Most High favorite land.
Yeah, that's why the Most High had Noah put the curse on Canaan instead of him. You know, because eventually we would have to be justified to take the land of Israel.
Yeah, it was put on hand. I know what you're saying. It was put on hand and took on the curse. Let's see, there's multiple sons of Ham, but you know, the curse was carried out through Canaan. Go ahead.
So Isaiah 11:11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time.
So we teach about pain and destruction and doom, but we also teach salvation. Because from this pain and destruction, the elect of Israel is going to be delivered from it. Right?
It says, to recover the remnant of his people left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off.
Right, so this tribalism is going to stop. You know, like Judah or the the southern kingdom despising the so-called Latin tribes, you know, and vice tribe looking down on the southern kingdom. That's going to be put out because at the end of the day, we all one nation. You know, the separatism stop. Go ahead.
It says, Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines toward the west. They shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them.
So that's the going to, and other nations going and serve us. Edom is the so-called race. Moab is who we identify as the Chinese and the people of Korea, North and South Korea, and Ammon is the people of Japan. So they're gonna serve us. And China think they next up the route, but they in for a big surprise. Right? Okay, go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 1. The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, Thus speaketh the Lord Yahweh of Israel, saying, Write thee all words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. Verse 3.
And that's what we found out of the book, the Bible. So the words that was given to all the prophets take place in the future, that was going to take place in the future, and the prophets break it down. Right?
Verse 3. For lo, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah, saith the Lord, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it.
And that's what we're looking forward to.
This is that it's constantly just talking about the northern tribe and the southern tribe consist of the whole nation of Israel. All right, it's not ever mentioning these other nations, but somehow the damn Christian crackheads, you know, they want to lump the whole world in. All right? Yeah, read it.
And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah.
Yeah, concerning Israel and concerning Judah. All right? And who's the Lord? The God of heaven, the God of Israel. Yahweh Shah, man. He coming back to deliver his people. When you go to Matthew 1 and 21, his people is the Israelites, all right? That's a possessive pronoun, all right? The Lord's a peculiar nation, all right? The Lord, we was breaking out all the judgments for us following witchcraft and following up the other gods. And you see why the Israelites, which is so-called blacks, Latinos, they are in the position that y'all in today. It's clearly evident, all right? If you got the eyes to see that we the Israelites. Go ahead.
Verse 5. For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace.
Right.
Verse 6. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child.
And that's what it's speaking.
No, go
ahead.
Wherefore do I see every man wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins?
And that's what's going to come to the of America, all right? There's a thing called Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah 30 and 7, all right? We in some beautiful but scary time. And we in the time of judgment. Because iniquity have reached into heaven, man. The Lord is a just power. He's the ultimate judge. You got, only God can judge you. And he about to. You don't want to hear shit we got to say. Even though he sent out his mouthpiece, which is the prophets, the Lord about to judge harshly, you know? And we trying to be on the good side of the Lord. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 6.
That's the same chapter? That's the spirit. Go ahead.
Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child.
Right.
Wherefore do I see every man with hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness.
Keep going.
Verse 7. Alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it.
So that day that's coming is great, so that none is like it. Slakia. They got the articles coming talking about 18-month blackouts. You know what I mean? And it might not be 18 months, but that's gonna get the ball rolling even for the elites. Because they're saying it's a month black. People gonna be panicking so much for society to come back into what they gonna run to the chip. You know? Because 18 months is a stretch, but hey, you know, that's a good number. Have them panicking 18 months, no, I can't 18 months. You know?
What's in?
No social media.
Yeah. No social media. And they dopamines is over, you know what I mean? Overstimulated. So Esau's doing this, he know what he's doing. Go ahead.
And if you've never been in an actual, like in Haiti, Nigeria, if you've never lived in blackouts, you won't understand until it actually happens. How severe, once the sun goes down, that's when the wolves come out. That's when the hyenas come out. And I'm not talking literal, I'm talking figuratively speaking. The killers is coming out. If you get caught outside when the sun goes down, it's down, you're dead.
You could only...
I was gonna say, like in New York, the worst Jake been through was the blackout 2000.
Yeah, I was thinking that. That was what, 2 days? 3 days?
It was like a whole 24 hours,
Yeah,
something like that.
like that.
Yeah, Jake was bugging out, man.
Yeah.
Jake was losing their minds. One day blackout.
Yeah.
That shit was pretty crazy too. It was like 90 degrees at that time too.
I remember that,
Losing
yeah.
their minds, for real. So imagine, like you said, 18-month blackout.
You know what I'm saying? You can only imagine what's going on in here right now. All right, they not really pumping because there's no lights, there's no nothing. You got certain people on TikTok. You know, I seen a girl. She was driving. She turned off the her car. The car lights. It was pitch black. But she bugging that shit. Look at this shit. Like people panicking. But you know it's Jake that got a beast-like mindset out there. That's the hood. That's the trenches. So ain't no what they doing right now.
No, they already
Running their homes.
Yeah, they're doing that.
Yeah.
Looting, robbing people. You know, some people already died. You know, from people trying to rob them and stuff like that.
Yep.
That's a prelude to what's coming to all of America.
Exactly. So that's a part of Jacob's trouble, Salaki. That's a part of Jacob's trouble. You got the like you said, the shortages, all right? Food not being supermarkets, rationing, you know? Callbacks. Yeah, the recalls. That's why the scriptures say, because iniquity shall abound, the shall wax cold. When you go to that word cold, it means like cycle, you know? They losing it. They lawlessness, you know? But so it said
Psych means actually mind.
Yeah, psych, yep.
Go to a psychologist.
Yeah.
Psych, mindology, the study of the mind. So it's being mind. So a lot of people going to start losing their mind.
Yep, literally.
And to be honest, people losing their minds now with the relationship with the social media and the drugs.
Yeah, the drugs.
They ain't got no job. Everyone's losing their job, so they go to escape reality.
Yeah, yep, stress, yep. Anxiety, pressure.
Self-medicated.
Yep.
And Esau got his hands in the marijuana market. He's spraying putting all type of chemicals and this, that, and forth, and the GMO. You know, not just with marijuana, but with the food. It don't have seeds. Yep. So what you really eat?
Yeah, I seen a Jake. He was talking about he said old New York City marijuana is sprayed. Yep. I don't know what, but that's the new term, sprayed. You know what I mean? So that shit, like you said, not even really marijuana. Yeah, some other shit that got, because Jake is addicted to that shit, like they fucking, oh, you got fentanyl, or Jake do the grabber thing. All right? Every testing the grabber thing, and it's traces of fentanyl in it. You know what fucking fentanyl do?
They still smoking.
Yeah, they still smoking. You know? You got K2, they got the K2, they call it loose, all up in the state prisons.
That's why you see a lot of Jake, they got schizophrenia.
Yeah. Ooh.
That's from around. Because fentanyl either do two things. Either it kills you or have you
some other shit.
lose your mind.
And
you develop schizophrenia.
And so, go ahead.
So they got like who I think crocodile, a drug called crocodile.
Crocodile.
Yeah, Florida. Yeah. So, but it's making this guy, I think Pennsylvania too. It's called crocodile because literally it peels your skin off. You know what I'm saying? Like people that take it, they lose their flesh. You know, you literally be seeing their bones and shit. And they be losing their minds trying to eat other people too, like other people attack people. You know, so that's another thing too. Once they lose their access to those drugs, they gonna lose their minds because they don't got no way out of this hell. You know.
Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 7. Alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of trouble.
Who's Jacob? So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, Jacob's land was changed to Israel. All right, and we consist of his people. All right, the 12 tribes of Israel. And it said it's the time of his trouble. All right, you got. I was at work last week. I told brothers, I sent the video out. I'm standing. I'm on my route. I just hear thump. You got ICE agents attacking his gate, hemmed him up, and threw him in an unmarked car. You know what I mean? They kidnapped him basically, right? On a regular. I was like, golly. You know what I mean? He probably had family. He was trying to get the fuck up out of it. You know? So you got ICE out here. Then they targeting the southern tribe now, Levi, which is the Haitians. You got Haitians that gotta quit their jobs. You know? And any northern, I could be mistaken for a Haitian. You know what I mean? If I don't got my credentials, they might, Lord forbid. You know what I mean? Because I got my family out here. They hit me up and I'm like, yo, hold on. Nah. Yeah. Like, yo, hold on. But it is what it is. But yeah, that's the trouble, man. And Jake think it's a game. They just partying and bullshit. All right? We at war. Getting hot just to get by. Go ahead. They said that none is like it. Go ahead.
So that none is like it,
Yep.
it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
That he consists of the elect, the remnant, the one giving heed to the words of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua and fortifying their mind. And ultimately, it's not to be saved out of it, you know? And that's what we banking on. Because the Lord gonna show his miracles, all right? He gonna protect his elect, you know? There's more than that? Go ahead.
This is Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people.
Yeah, Michael's an archangel, all right? Right under Yahweh in the spiritual realm, all right? The Lord gonna send him to protect his people. Go ahead.
It says, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation.
Since there was a nation. So this time when trouble is gonna trump slavery, all right? The history of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans is gonna trump 70 AD, when we got scattered, the great diaspora, all right? It's gonna trump the time of Egypt. It's gonna trump the time of Babylon. It's gonna trump the time of Rome, you know? Go ahead.
It says, and there shall be a time of trouble,
Yep.
such as never was since there was a nation.
Since there never was, since it was a nation. Because when you two, it's gonna be in so much of abundance, all right? A kingdom like America is so vast, and it's so much Jakes here. It was never like this. Like, what the hell? You know? Go ahead. Massive kingdom.
It says, even to that same time,
Yep.
and at that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
This scripture perfectly aligned. All right? Everyone that is written in the book allowed it to be saved out of this destruction. All right? What's the destruction that's coming? Thermonuclear missiles is going to fly over here and destroy the shoreline, which is America, according to the Bible. All right? You know? And we trying to get delivered out of that. We trying to get preserved through Jacob's trouble. When he getting beamed up on the father ship, all right? With Yahweh Shah. Get back to 24. But you got something else?
This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua,
that land mass is America and all the land. Go ahead.
2 parts therein shall be cut off, die.
That's 2/3 of the nation of Israel. So 2/3 of our people here in America, that's 6.6%, all right, of a whole, is going to be cut off and die. So that's a great slaughter, all right? People going to be getting caught up in the concentration camps. I had a weird dream, and it was like a cheetah in the hood. And I was like, and it was like people was nervous out in the streets. You know what I mean? And that could be another tactic that Esau used. You know, flood the streets with a wild, you know? Scripture on that too. Okay, go get it.
Watch over this.
That's the spirit. That's the dream I had. And that's the spirit, because I was thinking about it too. You know? When you look at the characteristics of a leopard or a cheetah, that devil fits it. You know? So that's, I kind of took it as that too.
That means escape.
No
They can
escape.
or
Yeah.
cheetah. They're fast. This is Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 6. Matter of fact, yep, verse 6, it says, wherefore a lion out of forest shall slay them,
Woo, see that?
and a wolf of the evening shall spoil them, a leopard shall watch over their cities.
That's heavy. That's the spirit. Spirit. Yeah. You gonna read that again?
It says, wherefore a lion out of forest shall slay them,
Yep.
and a wolf of the evening shall spoil them, a leopard shall watch over their cities.
Yep.
Everyone that goeth out there shall be torn in pieces, because their transgressions are many, and their slidings are increased.
So that's another part of the judgment of the Lord. No, that it was spooky in a dream. It was dark. And now you see like a leopard in a tree, and I'm like, yo, what the? For me, people scared to come outside. You know what I mean? The Lord he gonna. That's what I said. Like never before. He gonna unleash holy hell out in the streets of America. And New York, New York is gonna fucking feel it. New York. This is the epic center of wickedness. You know. Go ahead.
Yeah. And then you got them scientists. They're warning of a mega quake in California.
Yeah.
They're warning of 8 to 9 magnitude earthquake to hit very soon because all these recent earthquakes that's been happening.
Yeah.
All of that release energy and other fault lines in the earth. So if you had a fault line that already weak on the edge, now that little from let's say Peru all the way down there, travel all the way up there, and it's gonna cause devastation.
That's right.
You know.
So this is Go ahead.
No, it's so much happening.
Yeah, it's so much happening.
So much.
You know, that's why everybody gotta be on their watch. Everybody gotta stay laser focused in. You know what I mean? Fourth quarter of an NBA Finals game, and there's a minute left. You know, all hands on deck. You know, all the kids in the world and all the world bullshit. Listen, this world is done. You know what I mean? This world is finished. Why would you put yourself with this world? You know, it's easier said than done, but it's going out. That was it? Okay.
This is Jeremiah 15:2. It says, and it shall come to pass, they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus the Lord, such as are for death to death, and such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine.
Yeah, so starvation is coming back. That happened in ancient Israel. That happened in the time of 70 AD. They tell you about that in the curses. All right? That's why when it said man shall have an evil eye towards his wife.
Yeah.
It was over because of the siege.
Yeah. It says that in the
Towards
siege,
his brother. Yeah, in the siege.
in the straightness,
Yep.
the flesh of his own children.
Exactly. You know? So starvation is coming back. What else?
It says sword, which is like war.
Yeah, we have the modern day gun. You know?
Draft.
The draft.
That's gonna be majorities, man.
Yep.
Don't be surprised, man, when they had that draft. You see, it's only Ramirez, and you see all niggas getting sent over there.
They had the South Park movie. They had the it was like they had like the war, and it was like an Operation Darky, and they really put all the niggas in front, and they was like the sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nope. It says, and such as are for the captivity to the captivity.
Concentration camps, all right, imprisonment. The Lord said, hey, behold, the devil shall try you and throw you into prison. Be thou faithful for 10 days, and I'll give you a crown of life. Jake said, ain't gonna make it out in concentration camps. Some of us might not make it out, you know? But we gonna suffer for the truth's sake. You know, they suffering just niggas. You know, they didn't repent. So that's their judgment. Get tortured, you know? Esau having his way with them.
It says, and I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord, the slay, the dogs to tear, the fowls of the heaven, and
the dogs, the fowls of heaven, all right? Beast-like creatures, you know? Lions, bears.
It says, and the beasts of earth to devour and destroy.
Yep. I was thinking about that. Yeah, they could just all hell breaks. Who gonna oversee them? You know what I mean? Somebody gotta maintain that. Oh yeah, shit open up. Yeah, that can happen just like that. You got the Bronx Zoo. You got the Central Park. I think you got one in Brooklyn. got one in Queens. You know what I mean? So,
Prospect Park.
yeah, Prospect Park. Let's just say a flood happened. They got sharks in the park. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit, all that to add up.
Like what
Real
happened
talk.
in China. When China got hit with that monsoon, they have like over 1,000 snakes. They showed you that was swimming in water.
See what I'm saying?
People was getting bitten by poisonous snakes.
So that's the time we in.
There's sharks over here too, but it's not like the sharks. You know, they like the mini.
Yeah.
They're about like 2 feet.
Yeah.
I see a couple people fishing. They pulled it out. But like you said, the aquarium have, you know, the biggest. I don't know what species it is, but the sharks are like, even they're not that big, but they can still do damage. It's about like 5 feet, maybe 5 to 10 feet big.
I'm gonna have to go there and check it out. And then the scripture say that the beast is gonna move out of a natural place and go somewhere else. I don't know what that's if I'm gonna find it. In Esdras? You got something? Oh yeah, get that, yeah. He's going into the Lord gathering his elect as well. Yeah. You know, from the four corners. Oh, you got it?
This is 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be often sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places.
See that? The wild beasts shall change their places. You have mountain lions in the fucking hood. You have fucking bears coming out, you know what I mean? They already got signs of what's them, they not that heavy, what's the dog, what is it? They up in the coyotes, all in the Bronx. They got coyotes, they have one sighting of a mountain lion. They got coyotes all in Queens, you know what I mean? There's a lot of animals out here.
Especially as you go towards like Long Island.
Check where?
Long Island.
Yeah.
And then towards Westchester.
Yeah. Go up you go. Yep. And they be finding their way down here.
Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey out here.
You know,
Yep.
Because PA, right? They got all types
Right
of shit.
there, yeah, exactly.
It's the Appalachian Trail.
You gotta speak up, bro.
Oh shit, my bad. The Appalachian Trail. You got the Appalachian Trail, so you got animals in the mountains. Yeah. The Appalachian Trail runs from all the way from Maine all the way to Georgia.
Okay. So read that one more time.
This is 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 8.
What's that show? A Million Ways to Die? It's a trillion ways the Most High to get your ass. All right? Even the dogs that people got, they gonna set trip. All these pit bulls and all that. You know, no more dog food.
What am I treat on it?
Yeah. Now you the food. You know?
2 Ezra 5 and 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be often sent out again.
And you never know how the Most High may have the dogs trip out, because you know, like a lot of these dogs domesticated, right? But then there's also certain brain illness. Like we don't know how they there's gonna be a lot of dead bodies.
Yeah.
And it's gonna release certain ailments. So the dogs get affected from certain ailments simply by let's say a raccoon. If a raccoon got rabies, they say too, like the way you gonna know certain animals is got rabies is if it's nocturnal, see in the daytime, there's a good chance that it's I'm trying to find a term to use, but yeah, a good chance to have rabies. Like you see a raccoon in the daytime, it might be a good chance you got rabies. So, you know, dogs, they see something, just run to it. You know, you walk your dog, you see a squirrel, run to it.
Right.
So if your dog's out on a leash, it could develop all type of viruses that can affect the brain. So the dog could be just attacking people.
Or that trainer go out the window.
It says, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstrual women shall bring forth monsters.
Yep. That's it.
And that's really going into like closely to the structure. Let's just qualify it, you know? That's going to the structure. Saw that? Let me see. Start at 30,
Matthew chapter 24, verse 30. And then shall appear the Son of Man in heaven, and And then shall all the tribes of the born,
And that's going into Yahweh Shah on his great appearance.
and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven.
The clouds of heaven is the chariots of Yahweh Bashim Shah.
That's
Yep, because the Lord is coming with a great multitude of angels. All right, and he's coming in that big fathership that Ezra sees.
And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
Yep.
Verse 31, and he shall send angels with a great sound
Yep.
of a trumpet, and they shall gather together elect from the four winds, from one end of the heaven to the other.
And we hope to be a part of that number, all right? To be gathered and beamed up in them ships for Yahweh Bashim Shah's sake. So with that, all praises to Yahweh Bashim Shah. Shalom to the elect.